be here very long. Tonight was like surprising. I'd set out to go out and just enjoy some air tonight because I hadn't been out in a minute or whatever. But first of all, I want to say one thing. Thank you, Vatina. I appreciate it for your donation. I just saw that. And God works in mysterious ways. Like a lot of times you guys hear me on here and I'm always talking about God and things like that. And I think God meant for me to do something tonight, which was to let me just adjust this a little bit here. I'm not going to be very long with you guys at all. I'm trying to talk a little bit low because I know my voice carries. um, Tonight, for the first time, I got the opportunity. Well, let me put in perspective here what I'm talking about, first of all, before I even go further, all right? And guys, a lot of times, well, I just wanted to say something. Somebody asked me, yo, why you always squinting or whatever? I'm squinting because I'm in front of this bright freaking light. That's why. Anyway, I wanted to show some appreciation to some people. And the person I wanted to show some appreciation to was King Payne tonight. Um, Tonight was the first time I got to talk to this gentleman offline. You know what I mean? And when I mean offline, I mean off of YouTube. Sometimes when we're on YouTube and things like that, or whatever the case may be, we just literally we don't get to grasp everybody's personality the same way that we would if we talk in person or talk individually or whatever. Hey, what's going on, Judah J? Salute, man. And so tonight I got to rock over there with King Payne, and I had to also say something about myself. This was the first time ever I had talked to another vlogger. You know what I mean? And it was interesting. Let me tell you what happened. I went in. I'm not gonna tell you where I was at because that's none of your business. But I was in a space and I was talking to him, and I was talking to some of his viewers, and I was entering the conversation. And somewhere along the way, the conversation led to talking about voodoo and tarot cards and stuff like that. So I ended up sending this bro. I ended up sending him a and I don't take that word lightly. When I call you bro, that means I mess with you. You understand? And so we started talking about that, and I sent him some videos or whatever the case may be. They were short videos. I sent them short on purpose because I didn't know how long these guys were going to last with it. I didn't know if there was something they were into that deep. And we were talking about spirituality, religion, voodoo, and stuff like that. I know, don't get scared. And it led to a discussion when I sent him this link, and it went into botanicas and stuff like that. Y'all just sit with me for a minute and just understand what I'm talking about here. And so we started talking. And I started talking to some of his viewers and things like that or whatever. Some great people over there, except for maybe one or two people that was kind of, yeah, teetering the lines of assholeness. You know what I'm saying? At its finest degree. And so I got to go over there and I got to talk to the brother or whatever, whatever. And I honestly and truthfully think the guy's a good hearted dude. This is the thing. I think he's hurt. And I know that feeling and that hurt when you sometimes get people that you care about and people that you think, yo, I'm gonna be around for the rest of my life or whatever, whatever, or people that you extend your arm to or whatever, whatever. This is a real conversation. I'm talking about particularly any topics. I've got something in mind I want to mention about, but I'll do that in the latter part. I want you guys to understand this, not only as subscribers, this is in general as people. I think we need to start getting into these conversations here on this platform because it's more personal than it is when you send a tweet or when you send a reply or you're talking in the chat room or something. And I remember all my years being in the music industry and stuff like that. That's the first thing that came to my mind. And I know what it feels like to sometimes be let down or think that things are not at the way that you intended them for them to be. Let's say that. And this young man, this brother, he's hurt because of the pure simple fact of he felt somebody did him wrong. And I can't say I don't agree, you know. And I think this person, they did what they did out of fear as well. You understand what I'm saying? And that person would be Jaguar Wright. I gotta say it. And we all know the story now. Y'all ain't gotta have me rehash it or anything like that. And I'm not here to necessarily bash her, but I am gonna point out certain things that I don't like. And I did that before, and I'm not gonna go on a whole diatribe about her. But when I was in the circle of these people, one thing that I felt the vibration of them, they also was hurt. And they expressed the way they were hurt in different ways, and they were bothered. Some people tried to hinder it and act like they wasn't bothered by it, but they really were. And I could tell they were. I was bothered by it because I added my old brand of advocacy and things like that from the very beginning, 3 years ago when this broad first jumped online. And as I was talking to those people, and like I said, this is the very first time ever in 3 years I've been live here online that I've ever talked with another vlogger. You guys know, if you followed me, I've always been adamant about not talking to other vloggers. That has always been my thing. But something in my soul, something in my heart told me, yo, go talk to this guy. You understand what I'm saying? And I knew what it was. This brother was hurt. He was bothered. And what it does is when you hurt someone at that point, what ends up happening is this. You start getting a type of feeling inside you where you like, damn, I can't trust nobody. And I felt that same way when I was with my ex for 7 years and we broke up. I was really hurt by that. I felt betrayed. I felt someone that got over on me or whatever the case may be. And I was a motherfucker for about a good 2 years. I was still haven't finally got over it until maybe like a year ago, right? And it comes from a spot, and I just want to explain this. It comes from a spot of people genuinely caring and just trying to be good people. Do you understand what I mean by that? And there's a lot of you guys that are subscribers, and I'm glad that offline, or off here anyway, I got to express that. And I think what I said in the message I said resonated with those people. You know what I told them? I said, as much as we want to blame her, Jaguar, I have to blame some of the subscribers too because they will enable us. And I wasn't particularly talking about them because they were the latter portion of where Jaguar Wright had first started that when she initially got online and she was there on Instagram there. And I followed her since then. I knew who she was before then, whatever the case may be. And as you guys know, I've said it before, we come from Clive Davis and Puff, but she comes from Clive Davis. Clive Davis directly signed her, and she was a young girl when she got signed. And so what you have to understand is she grew up in the music business, basically, just like I did. I came up in the music business. I was in it since I was a kid. I was what, 20, 21, 22, maybe at tops. I can't quite remember. And this was in 1999 it started, and it went all the way up to 2016, the latter part of 99 going into 2016. And I was proud when that happened. And all the friends I accumulated, and I saw some come and some go. As David Lewis was showing up today. No problem, Nick. What's going on? Salute. And so I felt like these people were strongly, strongly fucking hurt and felt betrayed. But at the same time, she was underage when she first got into the music industry. Yeah, she said she was like 14 or 15. You're right. So you guys are paying attention. And I know it was because I was a youngin' when I got into it too. I knew nothing. And the people that we were working for, they really didn't know to the culmination of how they should know things. You understand what I'm saying? And so we were under people like Sean Press, Malcolm Mouse, James Cruz. Don't y'all say shit about me saying y'all name. I'm paying homage to you. Sham the Butcher, June Balloon. I love you guys. And they taught us a lot, but they were learning on the job as well as we were. And later on, I remember when that separation came, I stopped talking to a lot of those people for a long time, and it bothered me because I was like, these were people that I shared hotel rooms with. I broke bread with, went to parties with, was on stage with, Puff and different artists. We went to every different artist and broke different artists. I mentioned tonight about El DeBarge, how we dealt with him, and how I had always like paid homage to El DeBarge. I grew up listening to that stuff because my mother used to play it all the time. And when all that was over, and it's never been over. It's never gonna be over. I'm still bad boy to the day. You don't get away from this shit. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I started saying to myself, I said, I understand because they feel the same way I felt. They don't know it, but I know it. You know, and it's this feeling of silence that comes over. But I want to say this about the subscribers, guys. Moving forward, you got to be very careful who you financially enable. A lot of people are in certain zones, spaces, if you want to call it, where they feel a certain way. You understand? And thanks, guys, for hitting that like button. Also, guys, if one of you guys are throwing my Cash App right there, that'd be wonderful. $sign STRINGERBELL80 so I can pin it up here. You don't have to donate. Just type it in if you could so I can pin it. You know what I mean? $sign STRINGERBELL80. And if you want to donate, the link is in the description box. But I'm not here for that. I'm here genuinely. She needs to come back to reality. She need to be talented, but no longer in the industry. I'm used to nice things, but when times get tough, you have to adapt. Boom, and that's what I want to talk about, Nick. You gotta know when it's over, at least for a moment, anyway. And it's always open to recreate it because this is where we come from. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you heard me mention I've been around in the industry since I was 20, 21 years old. I've met everybody you could freaking think of. Some people I didn't meet, and I wish I did. I never met Nas. I always wanted to meet Nas, you know. And Nas was the premise for me, even beginning to rap. I started out as a rapper, now I'm a singer. You guys, you got to be careful of the people that you financially treating other people mean will get you nowhere. Exactly, Neek. Treating people mean and treating people with no respect will get you nowhere. And so Jaguar Wright is now being put out there as she took 3K from this particular woman named Pam. Pam's only intention was to help her. And I know she was helping because I can hear the sincerity in her voice. And this might be a little bit longer than an hour. I don't know. We'll see where we get to. And I said, damn. I never, when somebody's taking $200 from me, I felt a certain type of way. You know what I mean? I got for $200 one time. And I felt a certain type of way. So I can imagine if it was 3K, whether you have it or you don't have it to give out. You get what I'm saying, guys? And I want to take my time with this. I knew how King Payne felt tonight because he put everyone, he put every effort, he put every fucking bit of his soul into helping this woman, you know? And to turn around and get somebody's ass hiked up in the air basically and tell you to kiss it, that's something else. And I know that feeling because when we were fired, and Skinny, don't get mad at me. I ain't mad no more. I'm just explaining it so these people, these good people, understand what I'm talking about. So if you see this, because I know everybody bad boy and everybody fucking else watch me. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not talking about Puff, but I am talking about the situation. All right. So, hey, this is one of yours, professional. What the fuck are you gonna say to me, huh? So I sat here and I compiled up what I was thinking and I thought about it like this and I was able to explain it to the last woman that was on there. We were interacting with each other. Neek, wait a minute. They messed that woman's career up intentionally because of her voice. She was a treat for a lot of people. She was a treat for a lot of people. But on her second half of her journey, see, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm glad you brought that up, Gina J. See, we have different points in our life. You understand what I'm saying? Like the same person you were 10 years ago is not the same person you are today. That's all of us. The same person you were 5 months ago, you're not that person anymore. You understand what I'm saying? You evolve, you learn new things, you move a different way, you can sort and move with different people, etc., etc., etc. That's the way it is. But when you make the transition and you're coming from the music business and you're coming into this YouTube world, what I've noticed for a lot of people and a lot of my accolade and a lot of people that because I've got bad boy brothers that are all here doing their thing too as well. Um, you have to come to a realization that YouTube is not the music business. Now we know we got Leo up there. Shout out to Leo. Tuma, I know you in person. You know, it's and Tuma's, you know, I got to sit in a room with Tuma and get schooled. Before I even started doing this YouTube thing, you know, I was doing a thing with my ex-boss, Sean Prez. We called it Power Moves Makers. And we were sitting there. We had a filming location, and the pandemic shut all that down. We interviewed everybody in person, including Casanova. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? That was with Jesus Christ. I want to say his name right. One of the hitmen. I always say his name wrong. Tony. What up, Tony Dofat? What's going on, boy? If y'all know who Tony Dofat is, he's a two-time Grammy winner. Did the remix for Mary J. Blige, straight out of Mount Vernon, you know. So shout out to him. Neek, wait now. You can't change what happened. You cannot tell a person they should handle things mentally. You offer your opinion, but everybody's different. And I agree with that. I agree with that too. But this is the thing. Let me speak. I don't want you guys arguing in here, and I don't want anybody scared off. And whoever's left in here, can you please write my cash app in the chat so I can pin it? $STRINGERBELL80. I'm going to tell us about this from a perspective of someone that has recorded at Daddy's House Recording Studio, was Puss Form Studio. I've taken you guys there on foot in person before and showed y'all, even though I had to do it outside because it's not any longer Daddy's House Recording Studio. And it was unfortunate that everything that happened with me came to a halt. And a lot of the people that I dealt with, a lot of people that I was friends with, we had separated. You see what I'm saying? Everybody had their own lives. People had kids. Some people just, lived different lives, whatever the case may be. But I considered all these people friends. To this day, I still consider them friends. We had a gathering with each other not too long ago, and it went pretty well. It was a celebration of one of my friends' birthday. They used to work with us. We're all colleagues, And from my perspective, I don't give a fuck if one of those guys needed a fucking right thumb. If I get available for me to give it to them, I give it to them, and I hope they do the same for me. And some of those brothers, including Uptown Cerrone and Live, and I haven't seen Jaguar in a very long time. Formerly a Love and Hip Hop. R.I.P. to Fred the Godson. Shout out to Chrome, of course, Chrome Ferguson, and just a host of other people that work with us. Um, I do miss those good times we had. But those times are over. And you got to know, as a former artist, former part of the industry, or whatever the case may be, and I'm pointing directly right here with Jaguar Wright, when it's time to move on. Now, you ain't with Clive no more. You ain't at BMG no more. And I'm pretty much sure you was either at Arista or BMG part of it, one of the two. And because Clive was working for Arista before he got the separate deal, he brought along other artists, and artists y'all guys are familiar with, including Whitney Houston, including Prince. I met Prince in the elevator at 1540 Broadway. Um, who else? Luther Vandross was one of his roster. A lot of people in the time and the tenure when I was first coming in the game. You understand what I'm saying? These were Clive Davis's artists, and these are the people. This is the man that signed Jaguar Wright. Jaguar got a dose of this internet world. And this world is very different from our music world. See, our music world got rules. You understand what I'm saying? And some of them don't apply because a lot of y'all motherfuckers want to synchronize yourself with the YouTube world and the music world. They two different worlds. And I'm here to tell y'all personally, they two different worlds. Yeah, I said that. I said that the day she died, Judah J. I was live and it came across my screen. R.P. to Sinead O'Connor. I said it yesterday too on my trip to the grocery store. Again, 56 years old. She was another person that had gotten out of the music industry, and a perfect example. And I'm glad you brought that up, Judah J. And Judah J and Nick, can you guys please learn life's lessons? You can be on top today and down tomorrow when you don't know what's right. You guys listen to me here because I'm trying to tell you. And please, one of y'all guys, write my Cash App in the chat so I can pin it. $STRINGERBELL80. Because damn, y'all comments is longer than right now. So write that down there for me if you guys can. $STRINGERBELL80. I'm doing this for, so I can. 56 and her son passed a year before. Yeah, it is. One of you guys write my Cash App if you would, please. $STRINGERBELL80, please. So I can pin it at the thing right there as other people come in or whatever that not fam like you guys are. You guys been over here fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all fam now. Y'all part of the, you part of the crew. But it's a hard transition, just like Sinead O'Connor, to go from being this large, huge superstar, semi-successful superstar, whatever the case may be, whoever you are as an artist, to now transitioning to being normal. And I had to do that. I went from riding in Suburbans and being around Maseratis and Porsches and Lambos and being in this city and that city and this event and that event year after year after year after year after year. And then it abruptly just came to a close. And I remember that final year, I think we went back to back. We went from Miami, and then the next week, no, that was years before. I think Miami was the last trip that I went to. You know, thank you very much, Neek. Let me go ahead and pin that, guys. Thank you, guys. If you guys want to donate support, I would really appreciate it at all times and every time. But I remember walking away from that world, and I couldn't believe it because I'd been part of that world the better part of almost 2 decades. And Jaguar was in the game for a while too, so she knows she's been on tour. She's sung with Jay-Z and a couple other people, whatever. When she first initially showed up here on YouTube, she came here gossiping, you know? And she came here gossiping because she knew something that, and I talked about this tonight, she knew something that we know in the music industry. Salaciousness and shock value sells. And I mentioned tonight how many people had copied Little Kim's cover, including Cardi B, and one of the producers that actually put together that piece where she duplicated Lil Kim's pose on the cover, whatever the case may be. She later got sued for that and won the lawsuit. Which is crazy. But by the guy that was in the thing, in the picture with her. It's a hard transition. And in doing that transition, I had a relationship going on. And I hadn't realized myself as a man how much I actually wasn't paying enough attention to my relationship because my whole modus operandi at the time was to do this. It was to get the bigger bag and take care of my woman. And we were living pretty good. We lived by the beach. She moved in with me or whatever the case may be. She was my whole friend for a year before we even did anything, before we kissed each other, before we hugged each other, for anything. I loved her. I truly loved that woman. And when the culmination happened and I lost my job, and then a year later, her and I broke up, I know I was tore up and I was mad at everybody. I now was stuck with all these bills. I was in a bigger place because I wanted to have some room for her and everything like that. Judah, it's 80 at the end. I don't want someone to send money to the wrong person. Yeah, thank you so much. That's kind of why I did pin her, Judah J. Ain't nothing against you, but she had it right. That's why. But thank you, bud. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you very much. And guys, make sure you hit up the Cash App and support. Throw in a little $20 or something like that. I always say that $10, $5, whatever you can afford. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I want to get mobile again here, whatever the case may be. I got my rent money. I just want to have some money to, you know what I mean, move around and get a couple things in the house. Y'all see what I do with my money. I don't waste my money. I go grocery store, pay bills, and take care of things. This is how I live in here. Let me get back to the diatribe here. When you come from those backgrounds, it's very hard to go back to being normal. I got a friend right now, Uptown Cerrone, he's the same way. You know, it's hard to go back to being normal. It really, really is. But when you choose this YouTube factor, and I wanna make sure this is precise here. When you choose this YouTube route, you got to understand there's some different rules here. First of all, the music industry, you have a way of navigating things any way that you want to, or whatever the case may be, and you can launch it out, and the people got replies or whatever. They can't touch you or get to you or respond to you unless they go via these apps. But when you on this app, oh, they can get at you. They can cancel you. They can get rid of you. They can make fun of you. They can make separate pages and make fun of you. They can do this as an artist if you're a live artist too. I see them do this to Kodak Black this recently because of his song he did with Tekashi 6ix9ine, which I thought was a big mistake. But you got to realize once you get on here, you are divulging a lot of information. Now, I'm talking to Jaguar. I know you come through here sometimes. It's all right. I ain't going to block you. I ain't no pussy like that. You understand? You come here as many times as you want to, but I can never align myself with the shit that I've heard you done and the shit that resonates with these people because it's bad for me, you know? And on my way to going back up, you understand what I'm saying? Because that's what's happening. In one facility or another, whether it's pushing other artists, whether it's pushing myself, which more predominantly I'm doing, or whether it's other means. We're going to make it happen. I always do make things happen, you know? Jaguar got stuck in the fence because a lot of the subscribers were enabling her. They wanted to hear the gossip. They wanted to hear what she had to say. They wanted to hear who she was gossiping about this week, whatever artist or whatever. And I'm not going to take too much away from her. Some of the stuff she said, yeah, it's got some validity to it. I ain't going to tell you what it is. But a lot of stuff she did say had a little validity to it. But a lot of it was toppled with a lot of exaggerations. Let's just say that. Exaggerations. I don't like to call people liars. Let's just say exaggerations. Heavy exaggerations. And as a result, people donated a lot of money to her, initially, especially that first year and a half, 2 years, or whatever the case may be. Then Tasha K came in and got at that ass and exposed the world to a lot of things that many of y'all weren't privy to. That took on a downward spiral. And when you play by those rules, you play that way by those rules, you got to expect the worst. And I'm going to read your comment in 1 second, Judah. Just give me 1 second. And so what happened subsequently was she got taken down this recently because of some of the narcissist attitudes that she had, not only with her ex-husband, I believe, because the first time I saw him, I said, oh, she run him. I got two sisters. I know when a woman is running a motherfucker. And ladies, you know what I'm talking about too. There's just some men you can run, you know? I was with a Muslim woman, so she understood that dynamic. You're a strong military man. That's just not the way I was raised. You can't run me, you know? And I had some of those problems in the music industry because I had that same temperament. You can't run me, you know? And I saw Jaguar brace onto the hype. And what was the navigating force for her was the money that was being donated to her by these donators. You understand? And this is what I want you guys to understand. Because even though this last time y'all were truly and sincerely trying to help her get out of her situation, trying to help her get into an apartment, whether or not she didn't want to take the help or not, she preferred to look like to sleep out of a rent a car. You understand what I'm saying? With this girl who, in my opinion, is no use to you whatsoever. This broad ain't got no money of her own. Two broke motherfuckers ain't gonna do nothing but produce a third broke motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? And so I can tell you that right now. If you running with 9 broke motherfuckers, you bound to be the 10th. If you running with 9 rich motherfuckers, you bound to be the 10th. If you running with 9 motherfuckers with an ambition, you bound to be the 10th. It's the way the world goes. I've always believed this and I always will believe this. And I'm setting an example of that because I ended up getting with a record company for over 17 years by taking a chance. And that chance was, let me tell y'all something, I ain't even gonna believe this, but I swear to God to you, it's the truth, and I tell this story to this day. Within 2 months of setting out and saying, hey, I'm gonna get into the music industry, people laughed at me. I had people that were longtime friends. Yeah, they laughed at me. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with you like that. Yeah, all right, sure. This is all the words I heard. And I went to Times Square one day, and I saw some guys walk around the corner. I'm gonna put the picture up for you guys so you can see it too. It was a big bad boy sign. So it was distinctive. It was a different time. This is how people moved. And this is when TRL was going on right across the street. We was right across the street from MTV at 1515 Broadway, which I later ended up being on a show over there called Direct Effects for 2 seasons, 3 and 4. Shout out to Terrence Clayton. Shout out to Jamie. I always give them homage. Terrence went on to work with 50 Cent and producing a lot of these shows that you see nowadays. I know that guy personally. I just seen him right before the pandemic happened. And I still need to get back in touch with him because he might have some acting roles or something for me. Who knows? But let me tell you something. When you get that taken away from you, it hurts. It hurts a lot. And what you start seeing in your soul is, who am I now? And if you have spent the past 15, 16, 20 years, whatever the case may be, performing in front of people or whatever the case may be, it's hard to tell a baker, yo, you can't bake cookies no more. It's hard to tell a pizza man, yo, you can't make pizzas no more. It's hard to tell a nurse, hey, you can't be a nurse anymore. Why? Because we decided for you. That's what Judah J was applying. But what you can't do is you can't take that hurt that you had that people gave you and then apply it to other people when you come around and you meet them. And that was the case. Now, I believe Jaguar made a pimp decision between her, King Payne, and Sean Davy Way. And now that I found out tonight, these guys were closer friends than I even imagined, And I apologize to Sean Davy Wade. I have not frequented your page that much. I've seen some lives that you've done or whatever the case may be, and it's good material. And salute to you. I haven't. I kind of pause right now messing with King Payne because he's a good dude, an upstanding dude. Out of all the vloggers I know, out of all the people I frequent, and like you guys know this, especially if you a long time subscriber to me, I had one of the biggest niggas that do this shit. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say his name, Mr. Monroe. He offered me an apology. I accepted it. You understand what I'm saying? But you kind of muttered the line between lying. Yeah, you know what I mean. And I still got that screenshot of that shit too. So don't fucking lie, nigga. You offered me some bread. I ain't gonna say how much bread, but I was a scoop. This is why I'm familiar with this, Mr. Monroe. You understand? If y'all get me, you know what I mean? Ask him, you know. You know what I mean? I don't. That's one thing I don't do. I come from my Oakland niggas that don't lie. Because before I did that music shit, Bad Boy Entertainment saved my life. I was in the streets, hustling, moving, bustling, doing my thing. I did two of them. One for a year and a half, another one for a year. You know, that was me. That was me. Got the mug shot and everything, you know. And I since changed my life that day when I done bought because I had already been rapping when I was in high school. I'd already been performing. I was performing at 16, 17 years old, you know. And in front of crowds and getting applause and getting people to like me. I'm used to it. When I go and I do this little karaoke thing to make sure I can still sing and things like that, was things that I learned in church from my mother's family and them, you know, not my father. And I know I'm being real long-winded, but I'm trying to explain to y'all how she feels inside, I believe. Because I've seen this depression, I've seen this erratic behavior. I listened to some material from her where she seemed very erratic. I had my own interaction with Jaguar Wright, one-on-one, when she was talking about something and talking about, and Skinny, you know what I'm talking about if you see this. She was talking about the old lady that ain't here no more, you know? No, I don't mess with IG. I just mess with YouTube right here, sweetheart. That's all. I'll make sure you hit up the Cash App and donate or whatever the case may be, and I'll point you out to some other places I'll be at or whatever. I'm kind of partial. I got so many different followers and so many people pop up and I don't know them. You know what I mean? And some people, I had somebody come in earlier today and said I had 8 ball head. I'm ball headed, whatever. You know what I mean? I used to have hair down to here and I used to wear it in a ponytail. I'll put up some pictures of me with hair. But thank you. What is her name again? Roxy's Ladies Lounge. Shout out to you. You know what I mean? But this is the one I prioritize right here, Roxy. So you can always find me here more than anywhere. You'll get more reaction here than anywhere with me. I remember you from BB. Bad Boy. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, Bad Boy. Yeah, for life. Cerise the Skinny say that. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, for life. Yeah. I know what it's like for artists and even individuals such as ourselves to end up walking away from this shit and being like, what do I do next? Because that's where I was at. What do I do next? Now, luckily for me, I'm pretty talented. I went to college. I ended up doing a lot of things that in between the time that I was with that record company that would benefit me in the long run. I learned a lot of skills. I taught myself how to do this YouTube thing. I had no idea what I was doing whatsoever. I knew how to upload videos, but nothing beyond that. Like the knowledge I have now, the algorithms and all that stuff. And Jaguar taught herself that stuff as well. She got the hints of it. And most of you subscribers, if you guys wanted to start your own page based off of this watching us was this many months, years for some cases or whatever, you could do the same. I mentioned that tonight. But what you won't share is our experience. And you won't know how it feels to get something taken away from you that's that deep. And I think this hurt Jaguar. She feels like she's wasted a lot of time. She feels like she's wasted time with Goomba, I think, even though I think she loves him. I think she's hurt. I think she's wasted. I think she thinks she's wasted time with this YouTube thing because now it's going. Even if you go to other apps, your reputation is so damaged now that ain't nobody gonna fuck with you. Your reputation around our elk is damaged so bad that nobody's gonna fuck with you. You guys know when you return to my page, usually you would see a video with me and my bad boy jacking on. I was talking about how I got duped and I was hurt and things like that, and I was hurt. And I'm gonna share something personal with y'all guys if you didn't know it. For many of my new subscribers, you won't know this because there's so many videos back. But about 2.5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, or whatever, whatever. As a result of a culmination of losing my job, losing my girlfriend, the woman I thought was going to be marry me, this beautiful Muslim woman, I ended up getting into a little pickle. And I said, you know what? I'm going to leave. And I had to move out of my place. And at first, I stayed with a good friend of mine, or I thought was a good friend of mine. I still love the kid, regardless. I don't want anything to happen to him or whatever. So shout out to Roland Dunham because he was there. Guy came out his own pocket and gave me $900 and said, "Listen, I'm going to drive you down here, and I just want you to do your thing or whatever the case may be." And he meant it, and I think he meant it sincerely. And I got you, man. I'm gonna make sure you get that money back to you. But soon I got to New York, and this is gonna be a little long-winded, so y'all stick with me. I got to New York, and I had left out of New London, Connecticut. I got to New York, and I thought that a lot of my friends would be like, "Hey, Nick, come stay here. Yo, you good? Da 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 da." And I didn't realize it all that time. So you don't realize how much time has passed. Years had passed. 2 decades almost had passed, and I thought everybody was still at the same place. You get what I'm saying? And so, what she say? Roxy, really? Hi, Queen. What did she say? Roxy's Lounge. Hey, Roxy's Ladies Lounge. I was married to Craig Mack. Were you? You was married to Craig Mack, were you? Oh, okay. All right. All right. I never, Craig and all them was before me. I just do a little interlude real quick with interesting story. I was on 3rd Avenue at Mount Vernon Projects over there. So when my man Showboat, Little, Panama, and we used to go to the Nothing But Love picnic. And I remember that was the first time I first heard Craig Mack. Then after I heard Craig Mack, we heard Biggie. And this was before I was with Bad Boy. And little did I know years later I would be with the company. So if you are telling the truth, was a part of her career falling as well? Yeah, he was. If you're telling the truth, and I hope you are telling the truth, or I'm gonna have to get you up out of here. You can't say that stuff, but I hope you're telling the truth. Craig was a good dude. I never got to meet him. We were that third tier batch. You understand what I'm saying? So 3rd Avenue, 149th Street to 1540 Broadway. We come from that 1540 Broadway and the second realm of them. So if you was with Craig, you should know Sham, June Balloon, D, Henrock, all them guys or whatever, whatever. Those guys we came up under. Dennis, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all them, Blue Flame Agency, whatever the case may be, and then subsided into dealing with Nick and all those guys or whatever later on. We came at the latter part. That's us. We the 3rd tier of the Bad Boy. Then it's a 4th tier too. She telling the truth. That's what's up. Yeah, I'm Bad Boy for real. There's a whole bunch of pictures in my. You got to scroll a little bit. I put some more up tonight or whatever. You can get an idea and a hint of, you know what I'm saying, where I was at and who we were with. But we started out a street team. You understand what I'm saying? So we had the rap on the band and everything like that. Do you know Rome? If you know Rome, let me know if you know Rome. You know what I'm saying? That's who we came up under. Rome. He basically commandeered us, Mayor, all them guys or whatever. Love to them. You know what I'm saying? And RP to Craig Mack, RP to Black Rob, everything like that. But let me continue the story. So I found myself in New York back again, this time living in New York. And I was having a rough time, so I started staying at the hostels and shit like that. Young people, y'all know what the hostels are in New York or whatever. I started staying at those. Money ran out, finally. And I ended up, unfortunately enough, finding myself a Port Authority bus station. And my intentions were to come back to Connecticut and say, yeah, well, I'm defeated. There's nothing happening for me. I went down there one night. I sat downstairs and I slept. And I said, nah, I'm going to wait one more day. And I had a bag with me. I had a book bag with me, all that shit. Jay Black and them was before me. They were before me. I came with Sham, June Balloon, Jesus Christ, what's this nigga's name? I forgot what his name was. We might be talking about the same people, but I ain't call him Jay Black though. But I know what Jay though. But I came with all them guys, Marvelous, all them guys. That's my reign right there with them. I remember sitting back and I was sitting down there in Port Authority. I want to keep up with the story, and I get back to everything. And again, Waxy's Ladies Lounge, welcome. Yeah, I'm 100, and I know you telling the truth too. R.P. to Craig, man. But like I said, they were before us. I ain't old enough for them. You know what I'm saying? So I remember sitting back and I was sitting down in that bus station or whatever, and I was just angry and mad as hell. I was also hungry. And I was like, where are all my friends at? That's the first thing I said to myself. Where are all my friends at? And that's why I knew what King Payne and how he felt tonight and shit. You know what I'm saying? And nobody was there. I felt a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit. What up, nigga? What up, dude? Peeing up in here. All right, that's what's up. And I remember I fell asleep and this lady, and it was like God intended. This lady's name was Valerie. That's my little sister's name. And I was knocked out sleep and I looked up and it was her and two cops. And I wasn't aware that they had frequent and they had like this whole thing, and it's still there to this day. And that woman still works there to this day at Port Authority. She'll validate the story for me. And she said, "Sir, are you homeless?" And I said, I didn't know how to answer it. I really did. And just something clicked in me, and I said, "Yeah." She took me by herself, not with the cops, and she walked me into the back of Port Authority, and there was an office back there. And she said, "Look here, I want you to take this." This is a black woman too. She said, "I want you to take this voucher. I want you to go down 30th Street or whatever, down my Penn Station. And there's a place called Oliveri, Antonio Oliveri Drop-In Center." And I went down there and they had showers in there or whatever. And that place is still there to this day. Shout out to Dennis and a couple other people that still work there. I went to go visit them this not too long ago. If you guys hit up the Cash App, I want to take y'all there and let these people speak for myself. And I'm going to lead up to this so you understand what I'm talking about. But this is a very good story because it's documented here on my page. And so when I got down there, I was scared as fuck. This shit was like Rikers motherfucking Island on steroids. Every roughneck you could think of, every motherfucking drug addict and everything else. And I'm a tough little fucker. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't worried about too much. I got in there and I remember the first person I talked to was this older black woman. And she said, "Baby, don't worry about nothing. Ain't nobody gonna bother you. They bother you, I'm gonna fuck them up." And she showed me this big ass knife she had on her. I said, "Bitch, where you get that shit at?" You know what I mean? And why you got it in here? What's going on in here? And so I remember my first week, I didn't go nowhere. They had us sleeping on tables, like literally. We would sit in the chairs and we would have to bend over until they assigned you to a church to go to sleep. And so I ended up being at one church and then another church and then another church. They was very comfortable. They fed us very well. A Lutheran church. I was at a Protestant church, and I ended up being at another church. And I still know these reverends to this day, Reverend Seamus, Reverend Browse. I go see them in person frequently, you know. And these people took care of us. They added resources, tried to help us or whatever. And if you were there to take the help or you were a hustler, you would do it. I stayed in that place ultimately for about 9 months, and I got tired. I got tired. I said, "It's gotta be more than this, son." And so I saved up enough money, and then luckily my boys introduced me to this good Dominican woman. I'll never take nothing away from her. Shout out to Marina. And she said, "Pa, just come on. Tu eres Latino, tú sabes, no? No se date aquí, se está sucia." That means that place is dirty. That's what it means in Spanish. She said, "Vamos contigo." I was like, "All right." So I went with her, and I went and lived with her in the Bronx. Davin Lewis is a good dude, speaks a lot of knowledge. He used to be in the industry with Bad Boy, yes, ma'am. And so I remember I stayed there with her, and then the pandemic started. And that shit was scary. We saw New York go flooded with people everywhere to just being fucking silent. And I was scared. And I remember me and her had gotten to it or whatever, and I just got up out of there. I was like, "Yeah, you know." I forgot what had happened, but we just got into it. She was like a beja from the island. If you don't know what beja is, I mean like real old school hibara, you know what I mean, said no ways or whatever. Not the traditional like American Latino that most of y'all meet, yeah. And so he and her, we separated ways, and our peoples had set me up at the Marriott in Midtown Manhattan. And I was there for like 4 or 5 days. And then I took off and came back to Connecticut. And I ended up being in the same situation again. I was in the shelter because the pandemic was going on or whatever, whatever. So I stayed at the shelter on J Street in New London, Connecticut. You can call them, they'll verify for you, all right? I tell no lies. And so I went there and stayed, and I started this series. And it just came to mind one day because I was angry and I lashed out at Puff and I lashed out at everybody. The video's still here. And I'll share it in the thing so you guys can see it. But I lashed out at everybody because I said, why won't nobody help me? All those years, I mean, I was there for the launch of Ciroc. I was there for the launch of Revolt when it was just an idea. This is true. And we promoted it. We brought it to where it was, including the artists that we promoted as well, you know? And I know I was around a whole bunch of other people, but I felt a little bit more calm and contentious because the people I were around were locals, you know? They wasn't wackos per se. We had an incident or two in there. And this one day after I did that one initial video, I started doing this series. It was called Live from the Homeless Shelter. That's what I called it. And I had people coming in, they were listening to me and they were seeing the experience of me being in there and what I was going through or whatever. And I had good people that donated to me because they would kick us out at like 10 o'clock in the morning versus where in New York, they was kicking us out at 6 o'clock. So we had to get up at 5 o'clock. That means you went to sleep at 8, 9, 10, whatever. You had to get up, get out, and then you go on for the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? And so I remember when I got back to Connecticut, to the town I had been living there for so many years, and I started doing this series, and I did it night after night, day after day after day. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. Everything counts, guys. Also, if you want to donate, it's $STRINGERBELL80. The link is pinned right there by Nick. Guys, make sure you show some support and love. I need it. I really do all the time. Um, Continuing the story, I started this series doing that, and I remember these good people. They donated to me, they supported me, they showed me so much love and everything else. And I remember, honestly and truthfully, some of those people are still here and on this channel. And one of those people is a woman. And the reason I'm saying this because I want to show King Payne what I mean by not everybody's like this. This one woman's name was Annette Forster. And she texted me tonight because she was in the space that we were at. I ain't gonna say that because that's it's a secret society, nigga. I know how to do this because I'm a bad boy. You'd be surprised the shit I could tell y'all and I don't. And that's what a lot of people were scared of when I first started going live. What else is this nigga gonna say? Oh man, I'll tell you this much. I done seen niggas steal money, alter budgets, all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, we got 100,000 for the budget. We're gonna spend 25. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And so, but I never divulge that shit or whatever, whatever. And Roxanne's Lounge, I was talking about Mike B. That's what I was talking about, Mike B. Tell me I understand everything you talk. Trust me, all right, you already know. Once they, and I try to tell them, Roxanne, I'm glad you're here. You know what it is. You don't lose the friends or the contacts you have. But at that time, niggas will basically tell you, yo, I need some money. They'll be like, nah, nigga, you need a hit record. You understand what I'm saying? Oh no, you need to do what you need to do and gather some fans or something. Like this is the way it goes. It's like the Mandalorian. This is the way. You know, this is the way we actually are in there. And Roxanne could probably validate that or whatever based on what Craig went through. I know he ended up in North Carolina down there with that white preacher man and looked very sickly when he was on the thing. It broke my heart to see him like that. It broke my heart to see Black Rob like that too, because I watched that step by step. And ironically enough, Black Rob went through he was going through the same time I was going through it. You know? And Black Rob was down there, and thank God that Mark Curry, had his back. Shout out to Gene. Gene had his back, Harlem. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? AKA Big Midwest. Even though he do his shit, talk his shit or whatever, he the antithesis, same gang. You dig? I. So I remember, and Gene Deal know who I am. You know what I mean? We didn't talk before, whatever the case may be. We don't see eye to eye on everything, but that's still Big Doc right there. You understand what I'm saying? You bet not bother. So I remember doing this series and everything like that, and I stressed out for another 7 months being up there. No, actually, about 6 months. And finally, I said, "Oh, these niggas ain't gonna do nothing either. Let me take off again." So I took off again, and I came back to New York. And I was back to staying at the hostels again. I'm one of these motherfuckers. I don't understand how niggas sleep on the street because only thing you got to do is just navigate, plan your day. Like, you spend a lot of energy and time being homeless, G. Trust me when I tell you this. Plotting out things, planning things, what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to sit at for an hour or two, whatever. McDonald's became my office. Coffee shops became my office, all that shit. I hit that like button out of respect for my brother OKP. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. And guys, the Cash App is pinned down there or whatever, but that's not what this is about. This is about King Payne. Because I wonder, he doesn't know this part of my story. And I want to make sure I don't have no hindrance or fronting or stunting or whatever, because that's not my personality. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it was all crazy. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. You know what I'm saying? Love Gene and Mark stood by Rob. Yeah, they did. Ultimately, salute to Gene. Gene that held down a lot of people. Gene was the last person that was with K Slay really like that. So shout out to Gene Deal for that much. You understand? You stand up nigga, Big Midwest. That's what I call him. You understand? Big Midwest. Stall him out, Big Midwest. Stall him out. You know what I mean. I haven't told this story in 2 years. And a lot of people, when they see me up here on YouTube or whatever, they don't even know. No, I didn't know Wolf. I didn't know Wolf, but we went to we were around, all of us were around. That's something else interesting. We were interviewed by NBC. We was also interviewed by, at the time, Sway was working for MTV still. And so we were at the Jackal Javits Center. For those that know, y'all know what we talking about. That's what Puff had to try with him and Shine. Um, we went down there. We was down there almost all the time. You know what I'm saying? My name is Davin Lewis. That's who I am. And so, formerly of Bad Boy Entertainment, but still part of Bad Boy Entertainment. I'm the elk, and you know what I mean? That's just what it is. You can ask around if you need to. Like I said, I work for Sean Prez, I work for Malcolm Miles, I work for James Cruz. All of them, they all validate me or whatever. I tagged King Payne to something earlier, just to validate who I was. You know what I mean? I tells no lies. This is my story. So I got back down to New York or whatever, and I said, you know what? I know what I need to do. I need to continue my story. And this is what I mean by Jag. See, sweetheart, you ain't set yourself up to move forward. And how I set myself up to move forward is you have to think a trajectory. So I said, well, while I was living there formerly, I used to spend an hour and a half commuting back from out there in this part of Connecticut. And I had to take two trains. I had to take one train called Shoreline East. Then I would catch in New Haven the Metro North. And that's a direct corridor for New York City. They both are. They both part of MTA. But one is going to train. It's going to take you about at least 45 minutes to get to New Haven. And then from New Haven, it's going to be another train. It's going to take you about at least another hour and 10 minutes. And I had lived here prior before in Stanford, where I'm at, Stanford Greenwich line where I'm at. I don't care. Come out, you come in my house. I'm trying to tell you, we got the castle doctrine here. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang. You know what I'm saying? I got two calibers, trust me. When I'm do that. And then I'm saying, no, I ain't. So I was like, let me call these folks and see if I can get myself adjusted down here. So I called the folks, got myself adjusted down here. And luckily enough, this COVID thing was still going on. COVID is still going on. Everything shut down, everything. And luckily enough, they had everybody in hotel rooms. The hotel that I was at is literally around the corner from here where I'm at. And I'm going to take you guys down there in a little bit. If not tonight, tomorrow. I might do it tomorrow because I go down there tonight, it look like I'm creeping or something. But I'm going to take you guys there so you can see. And they had a whole bunch of us in there, you know. But things were a little bit more silent, and I'm a hustler. And so they were pairing us up. It was two in the room or whatever. The first nigga I had in the room was this El Salvadorian nigga. He wanted to get high off that toot shit or what y'all know is fentanyl shit or whatever, whatever. And so you know Jag. Okay, let's get him the fuck up on out of here. That's a weirdo. That's probably Jag 9 times out of 10. You dumb bitch. I was talking good about you. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, got rid of the riffraff real quick. You gotta get rid of the riffraff. You see what I mean? You be niggas coming in here and telling whatever. So I got myself situated. I'm back in the apartment, you know, all of my hustling, gathering money or whatever, whatever, whatever. And I was still going live for people. And this woman, Annette Foster, out of Chicago, she didn't know me from a hole in the wall. Miss Foster donated $1,000 to me. And I took that money and it went towards the place you see me in now. And I ain't did no tour of my place because it ain't laced out or whatever, whatever. But from that point, 2 years ago, I've been just trying to get back on my feet and everything like that, trying to build or whatever, whatever. I started having to talk to, because of that suggestion, I started having to talk to a psychiatrist, and I still to this day on the phone, Tuesday, Thursday. You understand? 1 p.m. sharp. You know what I mean? And I had the option to go and see somebody else, but I liked the lady that I deal with because she understood my whole story. But with somebody else, I would have to reiterate and regurgitate the story over and over and over to them and present it to them. And I kept talking to that lady. She said, "Listen, you have PTSD." And that's why sometimes you guys see me and I flip out on people. I ain't gonna front to you. I'm pointing guns at people still in my 40s. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? You fuck with me, I'll drop you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about that. And I ain't trying to talk tough guy. That's just who I am. And I've been lately catching myself, and I'm trying to be a kind of person. I was always a kind person, but if you fuck with me, this is New York City tri-state. We flip. And same thing with Cali. My sister lives in California. Shout out to 909. She lives in Modesto. You know, we got family out in Vallejo up north. You know what I'm saying? That's my mom's extended family. And I remember that was a hard time because I felt like I had absolutely nobody. And let me tell you, even after I got back in this apartment, I was a motherfucker for a year. I wasn't like ha ha he because the place I have is bigger, nicer, and very much better than most people. You know what I'm saying? I can't, and I'm in here by myself. This is a huge one bedroom condo. It is basically. I'm asking, do you know Jaguar Wright? No, I do not know Jaguar Wright. You said I ain't no Jaguar, so I thought you were being asked. Do you know any of the Rough Riders, my people? I know some of the Rough Riders when they had their street team. RIP to DMX, you know what I mean? From the X, you know what I'm saying? Everybody know I hold down the X all the time. I still be in the Bronx. I did a whole bunch of lives from the Bronx. Shout out to Fordham Road. Shout out to Pelham Parkway, 2 train, 5 train. I'm still on them, you know what I mean? Puffy did Mac and Black Rob dirty. I'm from Harlem, so I know. Puff, believe it or not, took care of Black Rob. He always sent Black Rob money. Just came out his own mouth. Gene Dilla say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just the culmination of where Rob went to. Rob spent a lot of money like a lot of artists do. Um, Rob was in some situation where he was robbing hotel rooms and shit like that. Rob used to get high, so did G Dep. We helped promote G Dep. I'll put up some pictures of when G Dep first came onto the scene. I'm in the Whoa video. You understand what I'm saying? If you from Harlem, we filmed that up there on Bradhurst. You understand what I'm saying? We filmed the club scene. I forgot it was Peter Gatian's club. It might have been Limelight, I think it was. That was the second scene. But we filmed the outside scene that y'all see. It's me, Mayor, Rome. Shout out to Rod Dollars and all them wasn't around. It was me, Lando, Styles. Shout out to the Bronx again. All of us are in the video. You know what I'm saying? Multiple videos. We're also in Notorious and a couple other videos. You know what I'm saying? But Rob had some problems and some things of his own, and Rob was suffering from some of those symptoms from drinking. A lot of people don't put that out there. G Dep is still locked up, and I got a petition. We're gonna still try to get G Dep out, and I haven't shared it in a long time, but I'm gonna do that again. I shared it before. I showed Chrome that I shared it too when I seen him time for last in person. So we get G Dep out of prison. G Dep got locked up for a robbery he had done. It went wrong. I'm not gonna give all the details with it or whatever, whatever. And he went in and confessed on his own. You know what I'm saying? So I know. Shout out to East Side of Harlem. You got to be from the East Side. You know what I'm saying? I'll be on the West Side now. Mario, tú sabes la bacana. Ashley, 77, Gina Thompson and B5. Yes, sir. Gun Hill. I already know. What's going on? Yeah, yeah. That's all 2 5 trade line. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Gun Hill, all that. BX, So anything on 2 or 4 train I fuck with. I don't fuck with them 6 train cats. Them motherfuckers is wild over there. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how many guns you got over there. You go over there fucking with them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can have that. You know what I mean? But what I wanted to do in the whole reason I did this. It was not only to thank all the good people that were over there at King Payne's page that even one woman that was a little bit obnoxious, I'll say that, but I still treated her with respect. She ain't know me. And I can live with that. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I wanted to say, I know how it feels when you advocate and you try to do your best to be a good motherfucker. And some people just don't appreciate that. I've been a good person to a lot of people. I've gotten people hired. That was the limelight, exactly. I know what I'm talking about. They deported Peter Gatien back up to fucking he old there. We filmed Notorious and Exit up in the 50s. I'm in that video as well. Me, Chrome, Maya, all of us are in there. We even went out to the scene with Kim did in the alley, which was where the fuck was that? I think it was over by West Side Highway. We did that. You know what I'm saying? I've been personally kicked out of motherfucking the tunnel with Black, as erotic enough as it is. We had the whole, this is what Black Rob had the whole fucking, the tour bus. And he had the rap on it. It had his name on it and everything. And I went in there and I lit up, you know what I'm saying? I was younger then, so I was lighting up and shit. And nigga said up to me, he was like, yo, son, listen, man, you gotta go, man, to give me $25. The nigga's trying to hustle me, the security. I was like, and I told him straight to his face, I said, nigga, fuck you. I'm with the bad boy niggas. The nigga grabbed me up and pulled me out. I said, yo, get the fuck off me. Then my mans and them came over there. It's like, yo, what's going on? What's going on? And I never, you can ask Prez this to this day. So I was outside then. I'm still smoking my shit outside because I'm pissed. And Chaz said, yo, professional, I can't do nothing for you. Roxy, that's who they call me. They call me professional. So you say professional when you talking about me. I'm professional. That's what everybody know me by. Pro. You know what I mean? As soon as you say that, they're gonna know who you talking about. But I want to tell him, bro, you're gonna have friends. And you're gonna be big. Trust me. You gonna feel and I honestly, what's that motherfucker's name? Jason Lee or whatever. He over Revolt right now. I don't like that nigga skinny. You understand what I'm saying, Rox? You know what I'm talking to. I don't like that nigga skinny. I don't trust him. I think behind all that shit he portray, I just don't trust that motherfucker. He just get a little too friendly with people more to my liking. It's like you got a way of I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't trust that nigga. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. And I think King Payne and maybe a couple other different people fit that pedigree a little bit better. Is that fair to say? The BB story shaking my head. Exactly. When he lost weight, he got so damn crazy. Who exactly you talking about? My brother, do you remember Rooftop on 155th? No, I don't. I never got to go there on 155. I heard about that spot though. But I think I was too young at the time to go there. That's more Bogart, Mike B, all them, Jason Lee. That's what I'm talking about. Now that's Bogart and all them, Sham and all them niggas was up in there. That was too old. Sham Butcher, many people don't know Sham the Butcher, even Nori talking about Sham the Butcher. Yo, he used to come in, hey, yo, homeboy, get out of my cubicle. This is a wild motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to Sham the Butcher. Shout out to June Balloon. I still tap in with him every now and then. On my head, Tio Compris. If y'all don't know who June Balloon is actually Hard Pierre's first cousin. You know what I'm saying? They Haitian if you don't know that. You know what I mean? A lot of us are Caribbean people, and people don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? They'll think you just like, you know what I mean? What it is, it is. But I never got to go to Rooftop. No, I didn't. I think they closed it up or something like that. Where's DJ Clue? DJ Clue is doing a podcast now. I know he goes live a lot. He still tours a lot. He's still DJ. That's a good question though. Who Kids, same thing. He's doing something with what's his name? Mike Tyson for him, and he was co-hosting with him. And I know that this guy, what's his name? Clinton Sparks. Clinton Sparks had a podcast going on Spotify for a little bit. I don't know what happened to that. I ain't checked out. Those guys I was around. I think the last time I saw Clue was in Miami at Fountain Blue. I'm pretty sure of it. And I was like, yo, Clue, yo, you know, that nigga's always like that. Yo, son, I'm going to get at you inside. You know what I'm saying? That's how he said it. I'm going to get at you inside. And that night we had rushed in because my man Rod Dallas, shout out to Eastside, he know Chris Brown. That's his man's. And so we ran in there, we was sitting in Chris Brown's section, you know, chilling and everything like that or whatever. I was mad at Jude. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Balloon. Balloon on me, just ask him. He gonna tell you. Be like, yo, I met professional. You gonna know exactly who you talking about. I tell no lies. I was with the company for 17 years. So, and I got the opportunity to be around the late great Andre Harrell in the office at 1540 Broadway as well. RP to Andre Harrell, also somebody that we lost during the pandemic alongside Fred the Godson, which really bothered me because we were directly, my boss Prez started out managing Fred the Godson, one of many different artists that we had dealt with or whatever the case may be. But outside Jacquay, who Jacquay was his hype man, you know what I mean? And Jaguar, in many ways, being that he ended up being on Love and Hip Hop, he excelled past Fred in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? But Fred, the godson, many people thought Fred was black. Fred is from the Honduras. All right, he's Latino. You know what I'm saying? Claro que sí, la gente latino, entonces saben claro que. So I just I want to say to King Payne and many other people, I wanted to say these three things and then I'm gonna get up on out of here. Or maybe I'll just talk a little bit more. I'll talk for another hour. So how about that? But I want to say this, and I'll read your comments after I say this to King Payne. I don't know if he's still here now, but I want him to hear this. Don't you for a fucking moment stop being the good person you are. You fucking hear me here? Don't you stop and don't you change, because what happens is good people like you, because they get fucked over, they change and they start becoming people that they're not. And that takes away not only from your credibility, but it takes from your inner soul. You understand what I'm saying? And all the godliness and all the goodness, I could tell you've been raised good. All that shit is just evaporates from your whole soul. And that's a part of what we were having the kind of discussion about. And I wish more people would have been into it. Because we had this discussion about voodoo and mysticism and shit like that. Shit that I know, but I ain't practicing, you know? But I want him to know that. You a good man, dog. And don't you let no motherfucker tell you anything different. And I'm not telling you that the brown nose off of you. I got 15,000 followers damn near. I don't need nothing from you like that or whatever, whatever. And I'm going to be your homie. You understand what I'm saying? And I can point you in a couple directions that maybe some people will see you and see your material. And hopefully they'll understand and pay attention. Not always. I can't promise you. But hopefully they will. You understand? Because I'm watching what this guy Jason Lee does, and I'm like, well, fucking Nori does a better fucking job than you do. In my opinion, I mean, you ask the same, but I ain't trying to bash him. I mean, you tell my fucking self, what the fuck you gonna do? I'll make enough phone calls try to get your ass fired, you fucking fuck. But listen, I don't like the thing I don't like about this fucker is you are sly motherfucker. And you use your smooth shit to get next to people. It's not natural to me. Everybody can't be your fucking friend, homie. You understand what I'm saying? Some people you just gotta say, yo, you know what? Fuck them. You know what I mean? Like, fuck them. And that's how I am with this situation with Jag. I'm like, hey, there's nothing else I can say to do. I would not, there's no fucking way in hell I would sit there and vouch for you ever again when I just previously vouched for you. There was a whole conversation. And I'm going to tell you, because shit, I hate to say his name. Fucking Rome didn't believe me at first. And I was like, yo, I was on the line with this broad. Like, she was talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, I don't believe that shit. I was like, yo, you know what I mean? So I'm uptown. He motherfucking backed me on it. You know what I'm saying? Thank God or whatever the case may be. And nigga saw it. I was telling the truth. I was telling the 100% truth. You know, it's unfortunate, man. But she chose this route. But don't you let one motherfucking slick Willie get you out of line and out of him. And don't you let these motherfuckers depress you, dog. You was a good motherfucking dude, boy. And stay that way. Because, see, it's people like you that make it the long run. All those quick motherfuckers, as you can see by demonstration like she did, take 3K and run. 3K. Sweetheart, you've been around multimillionaires. You know 3K ain't shit. You understand what I'm saying? I've been on here for months asking niggas to help me out with 10K. And that ain't shit. I done watched the Brinks truck pull up in fucking Fountain Blue, pull up in fucking King of Diamonds, and numerous other spots. Compound, I watched it pull up with 4 different artists. And then one night I was in there, Too Short, and I still got the picture. Too Short came up in there and had the Brinks truck bring him $75,000. You see what I'm saying? That's real bread. It's getting there anyway. It ain't real bread, but it's getting there. You know what I'm saying? And you out here duping people for your lesbian girlfriend and fucking ain't got nowhere to stay. You take that 3K and them cheap ass prices they got out there, you could have got you an apartment and still had some change left, or at the very least got you a room. You make sure that you got what you need handled first. See, that's why I tell people to donate to my channel. I tell them to donate to my channel and to the, what's the name? If you guys want to, you can. Right there is the link. You know what I'm saying? I also have a PayPal link or whatever. Donate whatever you want to. I don't pressure people to do that, but I appreciate it if you do. But I have a hard time on here. I had a whole 3 weeks nobody donated to me, and I was mad and I was angry and all that shit. My temperament ain't always the same. Sometimes I get on this motherfucker. I will cuss you the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you say some fucked up slick shit to me. I am not the nigga to do that with. Because next thing I get into, all right, so what's your address? And I will show up. Trust me on that. With probably 3 or 4 people with me. He says Harlem stands with you, OK, OKP. That's right. Harlem stand up. Had gastric bypass, but talk down on people who lost weight naturally. Who you talking about? When people are good, even bad comes, good will come for you for real. That's right. But you see, Jaguar went years ago and got money away from Jay. When you let money lead you, you heard what I just said? I said, and I ain't talking directly to you, Judah J, so don't take that. I just said, there's my cash app, right? Watch this. There's my Cash App pin, $ STRINGERBELL80. If you guys like to hit that up, go ahead and hit that up. If you don't, keep on typing, keep talking or whatever, whatever. I'm not mad at y'all. Oh, Jason, yeah, yeah, right. But Chicago stand with OKP. Exactly, man. Chicago is what it is. But shout out to Miss Foster. But if y'all don't donate to that shit, only thing I can do is encourage y'all to do it. I can't make y'all by force donate to a motherfucker. I can't come to your home and be like, look, bitch, you gonna donate or not? That's robbery. Pop, pop, pop. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody might get hurt that day. You know, somebody move the wrong way. My point is, that's robbery. And what you committed, Jaguar, was robbery, what you took from that lady. You understand what I'm saying? And even if you did, that's the way the fuck it looks. You understand what I'm saying here, sweetheart? And I remember, and that video still on this page. Matter of fact, there's subsequently 3 or 4 of them. You understand? They were right before I wished King Payne happy birthday because he was in good spirits then. I did a whole little quick video. It was probably like 30 minutes, 20 minutes long. And I spoke well of him then because I was like, I ain't even interacting with this dude, but I'm watching his movements. And I was sitting in the bushes a couple times, King Payne. I ain't gonna fucking hold you. You understand? I was sitting in the bushes, B. I was like, shit this nigga talking about. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But I saw who you was as far as your personality, Brody. And I said, yeah, that's a stand-up motherfucker right there. That's the type of nigga right there. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, here, nigga, take this right here. All right, nigga, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you hit that nigga, I'm gonna hit this one. You know what I'm saying? They coming at us. You know, he one of them types. I can already tell. You know what I'm saying? And I remember a couple people, they came from over there. It just happened maybe a week and a half ago. They must have seen me in the chat or something. So I got to bring this up. A couple people that must have been detractors from his page originally, but chose to side with her. Sometimes, you know, when you say things or you put your perfect position, you got to stick with that shit if that's what you choose. I ain't got to stick with that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Especially when I see you doing some Chuck shit. That's what we call it in town. Y'all know what I'm talking about. New York up in here. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's some Chuck shit. I don't stand by that. Ripping ladies off for 3K, you know what I'm saying? Not getting your shit in line and in order. And that's why I told y'all that long ass story about me temporarily being homeless. That was the first time that ever happened to me in my life. I have been on my own since I was 17 fucking years old. I've always lived good. I've lived in condos. I lived by the beach for a number of years. People in the town will tell you that. I lived by literally 3 miles worth of beach and it led up to a huge ass beach. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't nobody that know me in that town gonna differentiate and say anything different. And people used to idolize me for living over there because I lived over there. You know how we are sometimes. You live over here with all the rich white folks. Yeah, I did. My neighbor taught at Yale University. You know what I'm saying? So it's apparent that I put this out there. As quick as you can get the shit can be gone. That's what God wanted me to learn, first of all. You get too used to this lifestyle. And it's not gonna work for you 10, 15 years from now. You understand what I'm saying? If you keep on this path right here in this motion. So I had to move away from that. Then there was another notion that was saying you need to humble yourself because when you had this beautiful woman that loved you, and I know she loved me, you lost it because you prioritized trying to get ahead with money. You understand what I'm saying? That was my whole modus operandi. I got to get this money. I want us to have a bigger place than this. I want us to, even bigger than what we had, I want us to have this type of car. I want us to dress this way. I want her to dress this way. I had my chick bad. My chick had the fucking hair like Cassie for me. And then when Cassie had the shit, I got her hair done like that. My little Ethiopian queen was bad as fuck. You understand? And there ain't nobody gonna deny that. She walk into a room, she one of them type, just grab your attention. Who is that? That's how she was, you know? And we experienced it all the time, and she was preppy and kind of like, you know, she wasn't no hood girl. You understand what I'm saying? I never really dated hood girls. You know, ain't nothing against hood girls, but the hood girls will be my homegirls. Like my homegirl Poochie, she's a hood girl. She's Dominican, crazy as fuck. You know what I mean? But I love her. Hey Poochie, because I know you be tuning in, hiding in the bushes like King Payne say. But I love that term right there, hiding in the bushes. That ain't my term. That's called King Payne's term, but that shit is funny as hell. But I just want to tell, bro, don't let this shit darken your heart. Don't change who you are. And tú sabes, claro que sí, pero la corazón siempre. That means always be of the heart and soul. Always. Pero su corazón en toda su vida. Your heart is for life. You understand what I'm saying? And tú no tienes la corazón, tú no tienes nada. Tú no tienes vida, tú no tienes la familia, tú no tienes nada. Entonces, sabes, chavo, es nada. Now, I said that real slow for y'all that don't understand Spanish. You want to go tell one of your friends, especially you New York motherfuckers. Y'all got somebody next door right now to translate what I said. But I hate when I see people get duped. And this is why every time that somebody donate to me, including yesterday, I always make sure I show them what I do with my money. Whether it's this ring light that I'm sitting here recording on, which I need a fucking new one because y'all hear this shit? I done broke this motherfucker after it been on some trips with me. You know, sometimes I break it in the bag and don't even end up using it. You can't see it, but I got, y'all know the ring lights. I've got a tall one that raises up to probably like 8 feet. And so you can break it down and all that shit with three, what's the names? I done broke the fucking thing on here just to prove my point. You know what I'm saying? So this bitch won't twist no more and go up. It's all right though. It's all right. It still works. So that's why I sit down right here and do it. But show people what you do with your money. Don't take advantage of these people when they donate to you. And when they do donate to you, take the moment to say thank you and live in silence of it. Don't start taking, yo, can you get me a rent or two? Let me get your credit card information. Listen, first time you ask for my motherfucking credit card information, deal is over. Don't contact me no fucking more. What the fuck are you up to? New York, y'all know what I'm talking about? You asked me about my fucking, this is the Northeast period. You asked me for my fucking credit card information. Fuck you and fuck the horse you came in on, you fucking fuck. Yeah, I'm not giving you my fucking information. So Miss Pam, don't you ever do that shit again. All these fraudsters and scammers out here that take your shit, wipe your whole shit clean, you know? What do you say? NY calls, we bad boy for life. That's right, Ashley. You already know. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand people that do shit like that. And Jaguar, you didn't got into the fucking course of doing shit like this on a consistent basis. Why? Because you done made this a part of life, sweetie. And for a woman that had a fucking Coca-Cola commercial to now get down and be in the fucking sights of doing bullshit like this, sweetheart, I just can't correlate that shit. You understand what I'm saying? We all having hard times. Day before yesterday, before TMH Global, which is one of my followers or whatever, he donated to me or whatever. Only thing I had was rent money. I can't spend the rent money. Fuck, we be in the street. I'd be fucked up sleeping in somebody's basement too. Damn, I should have said that, right? That's fucked up, right? I'm sorry. Right, boom, credit card info. Fuck out of here. Word up. Know what I'm saying? Martin Bendijo. What is that? Portuguese? That sounds like Portuguese. Ashley. Is that Ashley Potter? Say, is that Ashley Potter? If that's Ashley Potter, I know you. You're Cape Verdean. You from the town. Miss Pam had a very good heart. Bless her soul. Damn right. Bless Miss Pam's soul. Salute to Miss motherfucking Pam. If she won't do it, I'll do it for her. And I don't want nothing from Miss Pam. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hesitate. And if you anybody though, go over there and donate to King Payne first. You understand what I'm saying? Because without King Payne, she wouldn't even fucking know who Pam was. That's the whole fucking thing. You fucked up your whole fucking line. You supposed to be from Philly? She really from Jersey. Y'all don't know that, do y'all? Oh, let me tell y'all. Jaguar is originally from New Jersey. All right? New York, y'all in here. What do we think about fucking Jersey? I'll let them speak. I'll give you a moment. New York, what do we think about Jersey? Somebody that's left in here from New York. Tell them what we think about Jersey. Unprompted, unscripted. I just want you to hear what we say. What are our ideals being in the New York City tri-state are people from Jersey. Not all people from Jersey, but let's just say anything from the PATH train on up. You know, New Jersey PATH right there on 34th. You catch a swipe for the same price of your fucking, you know what I mean? What do we think about people from Jersey? Okay, since ain't nobody gonna answer. Most people from New Jersey are more hard up than people from New York and Connecticut. All right, people from New Jersey, especially when you go down to Newark, you go down to what's the stop down there? Something Junction. I forgot what that shit is. That fucking rat hole down there. I could just imagine BC because you think Buffalo folks is slow. No, Buffalo folks ain't slow. My man from up there. Shout out to Griselda Records too. Nah. My man's from Syracuse. You know what I'm saying? Which ain't too far from y'all. Y'all damn near in Canada up there. But let me tell y'all something. The Griselda boys, all of them are from up there. Let me see what somebody said here. Somebody said something and it got retracted. From the West Coast. Yeah. Shout out to the West Coast too, man. Shout out to my man Red Supreme out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him, Red Supreme. My sister, like I said, my little sister, she lives out in California, 909. Shout out to Modesto, all them people out there, whatever. She on the shoreline out there. Then my piece, but I live in Vegas. Got you, Shorty Whitley. Misty Ocean, what's going on? Yeah, West Coast definitely welcome here. My sister's boyfriend, David, he was from Compton out there. She ain't with him no more, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know Cali very well. I've been out to Cali. I got friends in Cali. Shout out to 5150 Corey Holcomb. Make sure y'all go check him out. You know Marcus. His birthday was last night. Shout out to you know Marcus, Arkansas boy in Cali. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people in Arizona. Matter of factly, if you guys know OG Mac Drama out there, ask him about me. I was on the radio with OG Mac Drama. We did Blog Talk Radio for about 3 years, damn near 2.5, 3 years or whatever. That's what I tell you. I'm not no novice to talking on camera and all that shit. Even prior to that, we were media trained at Bad Boy. Miss, what's the name, is still in here. She know what I'm talking about. Cruz. He made sure all of us were media trained. You know what I'm saying? Because we was talking to so many different outlets. We was at the height of our shit at that point. When you guys as donators, and I'm glad I got all you here. And if you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button for me. If you choose to or you want to, please donate. I appreciate it. I can use all your contributions and help for everything like that. But that's not why I have y'all here. But she said, shh. I thought I knew who that was. I said, that's Portuguese. It's Portuguese and Spanish and Italian looks very similar. But when you read it and you pronounce it, you be like, no. I'm speaking either Italian or Portuguese here. One of the two. I know it wasn't Spanish, but it sounded like Spanish because it's all derivative from Latin. That's why. This is what I just wanted to say. And then I'm going to get off of here. Because you guys are some good people, and I appreciate you being here. And I'm pretty sure some of these people came over here from King Payne's page and things like that too. And to a lot of y'all, sometimes I'm gonna be on here. I curse a lot. I smoke cigarettes on camera sometimes, and then sometimes I josh a lot or whatever. But trust me, I still got the same temperament, same heart. If you ever got a question to ask me or something like that, ask me. Don't feel like you're confined to donating to me or whatever the case may be either. And if you do donate to me, I want you to donate because you want to. We don't. Okay, cool. From Sacramento, Modesto next door. I know somebody named Ashley Potter. I know I shouldn't be telling her name out like that, but she speaks Portuguese. Or you speaking Portuguese or you speaking Italian? E como tu estás? Tá, Miguel? You speak Italian or you speak Portuguese? Huh? Okay, obrigado. But listen, the point I was getting at is this, right? If you was, yeah, I don't fuck with IG. You second person to ask me that. Why y'all always go to IG for? What's up with IG? I just don't fuck with that. I ain't had no success over there. You know, so I don't like to point people over there. If you gonna find me, you gonna find me right here. I'm here every day. I'm a freaking uploader. I try to do at least 3 uploads and at least 2 lives, if not 1 live a day. That's my routine. That's what these motherfuckers over here crest of you. You know what I'm saying? FB, I don't fuck with that either. Right here, this is my social media outlet right here. I swear to God to you. You know what I'm saying? I'll put some more pictures up and stuff like that or whatever the case may be. And maybe in the future I'll start using IG or what's the name more. But even King Payne, he had asked me originally to follow. I was like, damn, I don't even use that shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? I just really don't. But right here is where you find me every single day. And if you guys want to email to find me, it's FORMERBBE. That's an acronym for Bad Boy Entertainment. FORMERBBE MERBEE at yahoo.com. You can catch me there. You know what I'm saying? Send me your email. The thing comes right through the screen, so I'll see it when you send it, and I'll see your reply. I always do. But thank you, Shantae. I appreciate that very much. And she said, yeah, she from Sacramento. I know Sacramento right next door. Jesus Christ, what the hell's going on out there, too? It's fucking crazy out there right now, huh? Sacramento, I seen the setup right there. I seen the setup with fucking San Francisco too. It's like fucking zombie land out there. All those fucking crackheads in tent cities and shit. New Jersey, we don't mess with them. She already know what I'll say. Finally, she said it. She said, New Jersey, we don't mess with them. Yo, listen, you come to New York, you from New Jersey, they got a certain type of flair to them, you know? Not all of them are bad. I got my two guys down there in Jersey. They're Italian guys. They're right there in Hoboken. That's a different place. You understand? But when you start getting it down there in Newark and a couple other places or whatever, it gets bad down there. Now, everybody down in Newark ain't bad. You understand what I'm saying? Or Bergen County, they ain't bad. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna re-put a video up when I had some police interaction down there, and it was crazy. This motherfucker was talking about, yeah, I was in front of the mosque. This is when I was still with my ex. I was in front of the mosque. And this motherfucker said, yeah, we looking for somebody. I said, oh, homie, I just left out the mosque. What the fuck are you talking about? The lady says on the radio, we're looking for a white male with a black jacket on and blue jeans. I said, do it look like I got any of that shit on? You know, it was kind of crazy. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna put that video back up for y'all. I'm gonna put some other videos up for y'all too. But yeah, we don't fuck with Jersey like that. Jersey is cool. They got some good people in Jersey, but the frequent New Jersey, unless you got family or friends down there. Like I don't go to Hoboken to see my friends. I told you you were speaking Portuguese. I knew it. Are you Cape Verdean? You must be Cape Verdean. But when we do go down to Jersey, we have fun down there. They have a huge Cuban community down in Jersey, so I'm always down there sometimes or whatever. But it's not in Newark. It's more near Newport and all that shit down there, which is still safe area. You know what I'm saying? But once you start getting to South Jersey, that shit turn into Redneckville. Like it's trees everywhere. There's fucking white separatists down there. They got this one town down there called Melville, New Jersey. They call the people down there Millbillies, or some shit like that. Opposite for hillbillies. She said that she said I got robbed in New Jersey. Uh-huh. My brother, you don't blow up my spot. I'm trying to be incognito already. You understand what I'm saying? Obrigado. Obrigado. Well, let me tell you something. New Jersey's a rough fucking state. And when they had Christie, y'all remember when they were down there, Governor Christie, the motherfucker spelled the fucking street signs wrong. How the fuck do you do They had a whole trail of about a couple miles where fucking they had spelled the street sign. You know, like when they write on the concrete, they had spelled the shit wrong. So they had to go back like multiple miles to fucking fix all the street that they had fucking fucked up with the sign. So basically they paint the truck paints them or whatever, and they programmed the train to paint them. This motherfucker, I don't know what he did, but all the fucking street signs and yield signs were wrong. If anybody remembers when Governor Christie did that, it was fucking hilarious. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. She said, I got robbed. I got robbed in New Jersey. Yeah, New Jersey's a rough city. You don't go down there if you don't know nobody. My brother, you blew up my spot trying to be incognito. Okay, sweetie, I ain't gonna blow you up no more. My fault, my fault, my fault, my fault. But let me tell you something, man. Be careful, all you cool friends. Subscribers, be careful of who you financially support in the future. A lot of you guys have good intentions, and y'all hear some of these podcasters and some of these motherfuckers. And yes, I hope you hear this on replay, you bitch ass niggas, use because you know what you're doing. A lot of these motherfuckers, this is one of my problems why I can't get people to donate to me as heavily as they should versus a lot of these fucking con artists that be here on YouTube. A lot of these motherfuckers on here playing three card Monty. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning that they get on here and they hop on here and they hustle these people on here because they know they'll donate out of the kind nature of their heart. And when you get stories like what happened with Jaguar reverberate around these people that are donators, in this case, Miss Pam, where she gave 3K or whatever the dates may be. When you get donators like that, and they generally, and I'm gonna throw in two portions of this, so y'all make sure y'all actually three portions before I get out of here. When you actually get donators, they get out here and they give their hardcore money to people. You know what I'm saying? And in this case, 3K because they want to help somebody. You don't take advantage of them people. And when you do take advantage of them people, what happens is a story starts to reverberate around these fucking internet streets. You understand what I'm saying? This is why I've always had a practice of when I get donated to, I show people. I always do even in this one right here, you'll see me say thank you, Vatina, because she donated $40 to me earlier tonight. You see what I'm saying? You always get on here and you thank these people for donating to you because this is their hard earn money. I don't give a fuck if they got disposable income like people were saying with Miss Pam or whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. You got duped. And it's not right. And they was trying to take you for a ride, talking about I need an investor. And I don't know whose idea it was it fucking Predator TJ? That's one ugly fucking broad right there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I ain't trying to be disrespectful. I don't jump on women or nothing, but that's a ugly fucking broad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if I did. They met in jail. You mean out of all the chicks you couldn't met in jail, that was the one you linked up with right there? I've seen those girls go on the ice cream truck to go to jail. Some of them look fucking pretty. You understand what I'm saying? You found that. You left Goomba for that. You should have went back to Goomba. Goomba, I'm sorry, baby. Take me back and get my braids fixed. And let me get out this blue dress. I was joking the fuck out of her about that. I'm sorry. I donated 2 times to her funds because I supported OKP, and that's when it seems to be the same vibration that goes everywhere. You were lucky being next to this guy, and you fucked around, and now you ain't gonna have nobody. Who you think gonna support you now? Them ragtag motherfuckers you over there with? They ain't got as much power as this guy, and I'm not fucking with him. $3,000 is a blessing, Roxy. That's more than a fucking blessing. Remember when he shut down the George Washington Bridge? Chris Christie. Oh, hell yeah, I remember that shit. What was that, 2015, 16, or was it, or something like that? Give me if I'm wrong, Ashley. Something. I think it was like 2015, 16, something like that. It was, yeah. He did that dumb motherfucker, that fat fuck. He was a goofy. He was the dumbest mayor in New Jersey. If there was ever a template of dumb mayor, he fit. If dumb mayor was a person, it was him, you know? You can't get on here and take advantage of these donators and these good people's fucking good intention because they believe in you, you know? And I tell a lot of people too, donate at least one time out of the month, a very minimum, to talk about something outside of gossiping, you know? And that's another thing I enjoyed about King Payne tonight. Yeah, he does his gossip column, this shit or whatever we all fucking do, you know, to a certain extent or another. Even with my uploads that I'm not even live on, I do it to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? Some of us with good intentions, some of us to prove a point, some of us to show how some people are wrong. Excuse me, guys, I'm about to knock this little braggedy shit down. But the point is, you don't take advantage of these people. This is these people's work money. This is these people's income. Some of these people have fucking kids. You understand what I'm saying? I had a young kid come on here one night. It had to be about 2 weeks ago, and I'm assuming he was telling the truth anyway. And he said, "Yo, man, ask my mom if I could donate to him." And I stopped him right there. I said, "No, no, 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 no. You ain't gonna ask your mama for nothing. I don't want you to donate to me. You're a kid. You know, I don't want you donating to me as a kid. Fuck out of here. No, I don't even want that on my conscience." Then I look today and I see little Bow Wow's getting sued because he took some money from a 10-year-old kid. Did y'all see this story? What the fuck are you doing? Now people are scared to donate to people. Exactly, Roxy. Because they think they're dupes. You can go back and look at my history. I got over 3,000 videos up here. I tell you, I dig these motherfuckers out like mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm consistent. It might be, I think this week I haven't stopped one time. You know what I'm saying? I'm very tired. It's now Friday. I'm tired. I haven't stopped one time. And I think in doing this whole week, I got donations maybe 4 times. I don't stop. King Payne doesn't stop, and a lot of other bloggers don't stop. What y'all got to do as subscribers, if y'all got to start evaluating these motherfuckers that y'all donating to, and stop donating to these motherfuckers just because they sound good. Stop donating to these motherfuckers if you don't see any gumption out of them. Stop donating to these motherfuckers if you don't see any good intention out of them. Stop donating to these motherfuckers if they won't be able to answer the question to you at any given moment, even partially. Hey, homie, what you doing with our money? You going to hotels and buying new clothes and shit or whatever, or renting cars and shit? Like, what you doing with our money? And some of these guys, that are vloggers, they'll blatantly show you in their fucking face what they're doing with your money, and you'll egg them on. That's right, that's right. He in that ride. And this is what I saw with the guy, Brother Polite. I ain't gonna slide too much with that, but how did that end up? And I've seen a couple of these other crooked motherfuckers. And that's one thing I'm never going to do in my life. You know why I'm not going to do that? Because I worked in advertising for 17 years under one of the best, Sean Prez. You can ask Roxy. She got to know who fuck Sean Prez is. So we know you don't do shit like that. And Jag knew that too. And that's why I knew a lot she was doing out of desperation. But your desperation and your greed superseded your common sense, sweetheart. And now you done fucked up the game. So now I got to teach the motherfucking what's the names. You know what? Shout out to Mason, everything like that. Guatal say. Uh-huh. Yeah. I know what you mean. That sounds like Spanish. But what you gotta do is you guys as donators have got to stop donating to these fast talking, selling you a dream ass motherfucking niggas that's on here online. And you got to stop it quick. Listen to people that have natural repetition in their voice. That's for one. The guys that usually talk real loud and talk real boisterous, what I found out is most of them, those are the hustlers. Those are the motherfuckers. If they didn't have YouTube, they wouldn't have anything to offer whatsoever. They wouldn't have anything to offer. You understand what I mean? And so you got to watch these cocksucker motherfuckers, and I'm gonna say it just like that because that's what they are. That has nothing to do with the LGBTQ or nothing like that. These are fucking assholes. And I've seen all the way, and you can feel how you feel when I say this. I don't know if he's one of your favorites or not, but I've seen this with Umar Johnson. This motherfucker has been on here for 12, almost 14, 15 years running the same spiel. I'm opening the school in 1 more year. I'm opening the school in another 2 months. And the shit still ain't open. The Frederick Douglass, Angela Davis, fucking Booker T. Washington, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, black individual. Whatever the fuck that shit is. That shit ain't opened the door yet. You understand what I'm saying? What the fuck is a holdup? I done seen corner stores get put up a quicker time. You understand? There's other personalities on here that are literally duping you guys for the money because of pure simple fact they kind of the cash grab. I even go as far as to say that fucking fat fuck, fucking Boy Swaggers. I don't like that motherfucker either. How many lawsuits does that fucking have? You know what I mean? So guys like that, they fuck up the donation process. And now you guys seem skewed because you're like, oh, I don't want to donate. I have times that I have people, so many people in here, and I'll be like, all right, y'all hit up the Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. The other day I went live for 4 hours. I only had 2 people. Shout out to Jason, shout out to TMH Global that donated to me at the time, you know? Y'all gotta watch who y'all donate, who y'all circle around, and especially watch and stop donating to these motherfuckers that you can obviously see what they doing. This is one of the things that fucked me up, and I will say this about Jaguar because I said it then, and if I say something opposite now, it makes me look fucking phony. When she went to jail, I noticed something. Nobody had no material to report on her except for one person, and that was King Payne. He was the only one that was in touch with her. He was the only one that was constantly talking to her, constantly giving everybody updates or whatever the case may be, right? So I watched these fuckers. They would go over to his page, get the little bit of information. Little did they know there was 4 or 5 other places that they wouldn't have access to. I'm just gonna say it right there that they wasn't getting the meat and the spaghetti of it. You understand what I'm saying? So they was just getting trinkles, rags and tatters. Rags and tatters. And they were building their channels off of this information and acting like it was exclusively yours. No, nigga, you got that from King Payne. I number one motherfucker has said that. And there's one girl actually offer her, I gave her an apology. I wrote it on her page yesterday. Cause she had said something consistently. She said, I don't know why y'all fucking with Jazz. She just gonna fuck y'all over. Da. And at the time I was like, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, chick, can you shut the fuck up? You know, and I wrote on her page yesterday and I said to her, even though she's a shiesty motherfucker, she fits in this dynamic. I said to her, you know what, I offer you an apology because you were wrong. I'm like, how the fuck you built your page and then you sitting around later on talking about, y'all gotta stop talking. Chick, the only thing you talk about is her. She built her whole page literally off the beef and the down spirals of Jaguar Wright. And there's a lot of them that did that. But this goes to show where you separate the real talent and actually having a personality versus being a fucking doppelganger and an opportunist or whatever. And I saw tons of people donate to these people because they were talking down about somebody. Y'all have to stop that going into 2024. You no longer can donate to somebody just because they sound good. Go back and look at their material. Look at their pages before y'all start donating to these motherfuckers and say to yourself, is this somebody that's consistent with their message? I'm always consistent with my message. It deters me from getting, donations and everything all the time. So be it. What do you want me to do? Tell you the wrong fucking thing? Hey, I'm about to shoot myself in the foot. What you want me to say? You're doing a great fucking job. I've got kids that watch me. If you go into the analytics section of YouTube Studio, and I'm for you bloggers, use the online version. Do not use that fucking app. It skims you. I have people, that kids that watch me. You understand? My age ranges from 18 on up to 55. That's my demographic right there. That's the most that watch me at a 40, what does it start? A 40 to 48% margin. It starts out high at the 18 up. So it's more of them watching me than the older heads. You understand? And I'm nowhere near 55. So it's like and this is what I was telling you about the little boy that said he wanted to donate to me the other day. I was like, no, 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 no. I don't want you donating to me. Even next year when you become an adult, I don't want you donating to me. Take that money and do what you need to do. Because I was 17 when I left the house, you know? I don't want no kids donating to me. You got to ask your mama, you don't need to be here. You know what I'm saying? You listen to what I'm saying. Don't donate shit. My friend opened up his school in Vegas in 2 years without his donation. There was a guy in North Carolina that opened up a freaking school too. And that's what I'm saying. It's great with the donation process because this is how we make our money. Let me tell y'all the alternative since y'all don't know. Okay, so I had Google AdSense before. I mentioned this, but you guys probably don't know this. I had Google AdSense before. I even had the super chat thing set up or whatever, whatever. This is going back early last year. And I put two videos up. And because of those videos, one was about this Asian man. He was confirming what Kanye was saying. This was what Kanye was going through his old debacle. So y'all know this was last year. And he was confirming some of these names, the Berowitz, the Harowitz. I know them because we got a whole Hasidic Jewish population. And especially in Jersey. Jersey has the largest Hasidic Jewish population in the whole entire United States. Did y'all know that? There are more Jews that live in fucking New Jersey than anywhere else in the whole entire United States, in case you guys didn't know. And it's the same thing with Cubans. There's a whole fucking community of Cubans. There's the hugest one outside of Miami, Florida, in the whole entire nation. You'll find bits and sprinkles of Cubans out here. If you don't know, Cubans are me. Cubans are like Juju. That's Cam's ex-girlfriend. Shout out to Cam, Killer. Shout out to Jay. All them over there, 145th ass niggas. I be over there on the hill sometimes. I ain't been over there in a minute. Uh, BMCC ass motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. Um, when you deal with this donation process, let me try to say this slow down here. When you deal with this donation process, I'm just saying, make sure you donate to people that are worthy of it. That's all I'm saying to you. I don't want to say too much, but just donate to people that are worthy of it. You understand? And I believe King Payne is one of those people. I'm damn sure gonna promote myself, say I'm one of them people. And I know a ton of other bloggers that are those people. The second thing y'all make y'all mistake in, and I'm gonna tell y'all, stop letting these numbers in the chat room fucking fool you. Oh, this is what I want to pick up on. Google AdSense. These motherfuckers, they now charge you every time y'all donate to this Google AdSense. Y'all better off donating to the Cash Apps and the PayPals. I'm gonna tell you why. Because one, it's fair to you, and two, it's fair to us. One, I get automatic access to that money. You not know if I need it or not. They only deposit the shit every 25th of the month. You understand what I'm saying? So, and it's a month back each time. So whatever donations you got for January, you don't see the February, and they make you wait a month before you see the first initial drop. So all the collections I did in January, I don't see the February 25th. All the collections I did in February, I don't see the March 25th. You understand? And so on and so on and so forth. That's how it works. So I put up these two videos or whatever, and I remember I started doing the super chat thing. I turned that on, and I had a net donate to me, and there was 3 or 4 other people that had donated to me or whatever. And guys, you want to see my Cash App? It's right there at the bottom if you want to contribute or whatever the case may be. These motherfuckers take upwards. It was at the time. I know. I see that right there. It was at the time. It was damn near 30% they would take. That means if you donate a buck 50, I'm only seeing like what is that, like 137 or something like that. And then if you donate higher than that, the higher the percentage goes. You understand what I'm saying? So you're actually taking money out of your pocket and basically giving it to Google, not me. Man, when they took that shit down and they told me I had a strike for a fucking video I put up, there was that one and there was the baby one where he was fighting his baby mom boyfriend in the bowling alley out there in California. And they whooped his ass. God damn. But I was watching that shit and I put the shit up and I had an extended version of it. I think that was the problem because TMZ had the same fucking footage and they didn't dock their shit. That shit's still sitting there to this day. So evidently they did that on purpose. They was going after the Kanye shit because Kanye was popular at that time for the anti-Semitic remarks or whatever, how you want to present it. You know what I mean? And they got rid of it. Do you know I never saw none of that fucking money until, what was it, 2 months later? They wanted me to reapply for the AdSense shit. And they said you could do it within, what was it? It was like 90 days, roughly, give or take a couple of days. I said, I don't want that shit. You think I'm gonna be a slave to you? See, this is the plantation. Y'all don't realize it. Mentally, this is the plantation and the matrix. See, y'all don't know like the metrics of this shit. In YouTube Studio, we need to put up a certain amount. Like if I do 65 videos this month, right? I'm almost at 100,000 views for this month. If I throw up fucking 65 videos this month, I gotta throw up 65 videos next month. Or I've got to have enough videos that accumulate to the numbers I got out of that 65 videos. And they will tell you, you threw up 65 videos. What's wrong this month? You only got 35. That's why you saw lower views. See, that's another problem with this app. They control how you're advertised, that which is a terrible thing. Let me share this one more time, get some other people in here that might be part of my crowd. They literally, and y'all believe it or not, they literally are in control of how you're saturated and how you're put out there, which is unfair. Another thing I don't like about this fucking app is I can't see when people come in here. You know, that you got to say something or whatever the case may be. They took your monetization. Yeah, they took it away. And I'm glad they took it away. Because if somebody donates to me, these are the people I know. This is the people that listen to me and they wholeheartedly want to donate. Why the fuck should you see a percentage of it? Or if somebody donates in the super chats, why the fuck should you see a percentage of it, huh? For what? Who the fuck are you, Google? You know what I mean? These greedy motherfuckers, that's what they do. And they do it because they got certain bigger podcasters like Mr. Beast that they got to pay him millions a month. They've got other people like Marquise Browning. Shout out to him. He's been blogging since he was fucking 13 years old. He's an electronics guy. Go over there and check him out. Marquise Browning. Tell him I sent you over there. Maybe he'll come back over here. There's some guys on here that are huge and are making multi-million dollars a month because they do real hush puppy type of entertainment. I don't do that shit. Jumbo the paper clips, official King Payne. Hey, friend, what's going on now? You know what I'm saying? So when you're donating to King Payne, myself, or other bloggers that you favorite, look for the character. Look and see if these motherfuckers and investigate these motherfuckers doing what they say they're gonna do in their diatribe, or they being like somebody like fucking this guy that went from 125th Street to doing the Rolls Royce Diaries and fucking with 16-year-old girls that are the daughters of one of his 5, 6 wives. I still didn't understand that. I said, what kind of whole ass shit is this shit? You know what I'm saying? They were literally funding a motherfucker that had 5 wives and was given this imagery that he was doing all this great business. Nigga, you ain't nothing but a shyster. A shyster from Brooklyn. Shout out to Brooklyn, but I know a shyster from Brooklyn when I see one. They quick talking ass niggas. They always have been down there. Brooklyn, you can be guaranteed that a Brooklyn motherfucker will talk you out of your socks if they can. You know, I know him well. I know hung in Sumter. I hung in Marcy. Shout out to Jerry. Shout out to Q over there, motherfucking Marcy. I go over there to this day. I got pictures of me in Marcy, videos of me in Marcy, videos of me in Sumter, and they right down the street from each other. Anybody from Brooklyn, I know what I'm talking about. These motherfuckers used to war with each other. Now the neighborhood, it's a very huge class, maybe three blocks over, maybe so, when you go into Franklin Ave or whatever, there's a whole bunch of folks over there that are Jewish folks intertwined with all this. And I'm talking about like the Russian Kazazi Jews that, you know, got the curls and the round hats and all that. These are Real Jewish motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? They got their own school system over there, their own buses, their own shops, their own everything over there. You know, they own most of the buildings over there if you live outside the projects. You know what I'm saying? So Ashkenazi, that's the word I'm looking for. I couldn't say it right. Ashkenazi Jews. Y'all have, as subscribers, a duty. And your duty is don't do what would make you feel good. Go what will make you feel right. I'm going to say that for you again. Don't go what make you feel good. Go what makes you feel right. And even when I listened to this lady, Miss Pam, she ain't feel right giving that broad that. And she said it herself. She said, I don't feel right with this shit right here. Mm-mm. I know something wrong. This bitch asked for my credit card information. I ain't gonna call her bitch, but you know what I mean. I said this like you ladies said, bitch, what? You know, all that shit. That's why I'm afraid to go live because these YouTube streets are treacherous. Oh, you better believe it. They don't like you. If let me tell you something. On YouTube, the problem is if you ain't ready to go, you got to come on here war ready. War ready. I'm like that every day. I got a certain reputation that precedes me because offline I'll come see you. Make no mistake about that. Is you think I'm littler than I am, but when you get up on me, you're gonna quickly realize, God damn, this motherfucker tall as fuck, and I got big ass hands. You see that? Like, for real, I didn't choke the motherfucker with these. Now, I'm not saying I'm the toughest or whatever, 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 and I prefer, you know what I mean, at the least to scare you. You know what I'm saying? And I've demonstrated that here on camera about what 9 times now. I will tell you straight up and down. And y'all know when y'all hear it. And usually I turn the camera. I did it one time in Times Square. I turned the camera on. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell you why I keep my shit. Well, I ain't gonna do all that. This motherfucker ran up on me. He's doing this clicking shit. That's what I call him. Same thing I did in Cali. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You got all the tent cities out there and all these motherfuckers running around, uh, dancing in the streets. You go blocks and these motherfuckers just got tents and trash everywhere. It hasn't gotten like that in New York, but it's just as bad. We got these zombies running around. They act like they don't know what world they in and shit. And there's someone pretending like they crazy. You want to see crazy? I'll show you crazy, motherfucker. So one night, if many of y'all remember, I was doing that live in Times Square, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and the police were right around me. Let me tell you how New York City police get down. New York City police will allow you to pop a nigga. They might arrest you, might not. They give you about 10 seconds, 15 seconds to move on if you choose to do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you better make best of it. You know what I mean? But I knew they was gonna do that. And so I watched the cop as he turned around as I was talking to this nigga. So he got around, I started walking off or whatever. The nigga followed behind me. And I know they heard me. Because I said to him, I said, yo, homie, you see my hand right now? Do you see what's in my hand? And I turned the camera on him, and that nigga had the fear of God in him. I was like, yo, bro, I will blast your ass out here. I will Swiss cheese the fuck out of you right now if you don't get the fuck away from me. And that's what their motive is. They like to go around and scare people out there in Times Square. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't frequent Times Square. I'd rather, y'all notice me when I go live, where am I at? I'm in Brooklyn, I'm in Harlem, I'll be all over, or the X most of the time. I go live in the X in the hood at 5 o'clock in the morning. Y'all have seen this 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't nobody bother me over because everybody over there know me. Everybody on the west side of Mercado, they know me. Everybody over in Pelham, they know me. Everybody in Franklin, everybody on Sumter, they know me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have no problems over there. You know what I mean? And if people have known me over there for years, oh, that's just, everybody call me Spider-Man. That's my other nickname, or Pro, or D. That's my other nickname. You know what I'm saying? Nobody bother me over there. And I'm not saying it can't happen, but don't nobody bother me over there. So that's why I do that. So I'd be damned if I'm in Midtown fucking Manhattan where I used to work at and I got some bum ass nigga because you pussy to be in any of those areas. I'm talking about, see, a lot of them homeless dudes right there, those are different types of homeless dudes. Those are dudes that get high all day, get drunk all day, don't have nothing in the world to worry about. And that's how they live their life. That's not the type of person I am. Never have been, never will be. But I know the sentiment, I know how they get down. And they pretend like they crazy. And you keep on pretending. I ain't pretending. You pretending. I ain't pretending. I'll kill your ass out here, nigga. For real. And think nothing about it. You understand what I'm saying? Think nothing about it. So don't bother me with that shit. Don't, no, 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 no. And I've had to do that like 7 to 8 times now. 7 to 8 times I've had to do that shit. And it's a goddamn shame because They think because I'm pretty or I look like da 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 da. I said, nigga, I'm just half black and half Cuban. You should know, like, dudes fucking with me like that. Hey, what y'all talking about in here? Yes, indeed. You already know what I'm talking about. That's why I'm afraid to go live. She said, yes, indeed. She know, yeah, I'm trying to tell you, New York City police are crooked as fuck. So are LA police. You know what I'm saying? But they won't let you get down. I've been out in LA. They won't let you get down like New York cops will let you get down. New York cops will let you get down. You understand? They give you like a good 5 or 10 minutes. All right, fuck it. Y'all want to fight? Fight. I don't feel like doing the fucking paperwork anyway. I ain't see shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that serious. You know what I'm saying? I forget serious. You know what I mean? They gotta do what they gotta do. But they'll even then they feel the situations like, well, you know what? Fuck it. We've been chasing this motherfucker for months now anyway. Fuck him. And matter of fact, wait 10 minutes before you call the ambulance. That's how New York get down. We had anybody that's still in here from Harlem. Y'all remember the what was it, the 80th precinct? The motherfuckers were going on drug runs, taking the drugs and telling the drug dealers, all right, just like in that movie with what's the name? You want to go to jail or you want to go home? That's where they get that shit from, that 80th precinct shit. You want to go to jail, you want to go home. These was buying homes in Long Island and Staten Island. Anybody know what I'm talking about? 79th and 80th precinct, right there east side of Harlem. I think it's 180th. Was it the 180th precinct? It was either 80th or 180th precinct or 179th and 180th precinct. One of the two. The niggas was stealing money for years, millions of dollars, big money. But back to the subject at hand. You guys are subscribers. You gotta stop letting these motherfuckers dupe you and stop being hyped up by these hype men, because a lot of them are, and start homing in on real motherfuckers. King Payne, Sean Davy Wade, I'm gonna give him a shout. O'Shea Duke Jackson, he's a real one. Even though some of the shit he say, I be like, what the fuck you talking about, bro? But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes he don't know. But shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Mediocre tutorials and reviews. Shout out to him. He's a real one. I'm trying to think who I could think in the bank that you guys could donate to and support. Because I don't be on that shit. Oh, all the donations for me. Yeah, if I do. Now I'm trying to set a precedence here. And King Payne, he in line with that shit. He know what I'm talking about too, because that's the same thing he trying to do. Look, we ain't got to be up on here beefing every day. In fact, there's other people that's looking at these motherfucking YouTube videos other than people of the culture. That's another thing y'all got to start realizing. There's white folks that's looking at this shit, and they looking at you like, are they beefing with each other? Are we scared of them? Y'all remember a time in culture where everybody used to be scared of blacks and Latinos, like fearful. Yo, don't go over there, them niggas might try to kill you. Now niggas just going out here starting fights with niggas on purpose, antagonizing, taunting people, whatever. We gotta get back to that essence. Niggas was scared. I like a motherfucking fear. I'd rather have your fear than a fucking hug. In some cases, I'd rather have your fear than a fucking hug. Seriously, with certain individuals, I'd rather have your fear than your fucking hugs. My man Macho taught me that a long time ago. That always stuck with me. He said, nigga, I don't want your fucking hug. I want your fear. And he said that shit one time to this motherfucker where he had this big joint in his hand. I was like, oh, I see. Crazy ass Puerto Rican nigga. It's another story. That was back in my crew days. You know what I'm saying? I love you, Macho Matthew. Matthew Lopez. Crazy motherfucker. If I ever seen one. That's a crazy Latino right there. That's a crazy this motherfucker would. She'll stop the car. This thing will hop out the car and just, yo, what the fuck you say to me? Like stop lights anyway. He ain't give a fuck. You know what I mean? He's alive and well. I talked to him not too long ago, but shout out to him. He ain't doing that type of shit. He work a normal job now, selling cars. But boy, when we were young, oh my God, Macho was crazy, crazy. Macho, Billy, all these motherfuckers. I have this thing of, I don't know, crazy people that are like really with this shits. Like that's who I come from. I come from people that really would do it to you and got the records and the background to show you. Guys, that's my time. I'm gonna get up on off of here. It's getting late. I'm gonna eat something, watch me a movie. Feel free to hit the Cash App up and hit up the like button or whatever. King Payne, I want to tell you before I get out of here, it's been a pleasure, brother. I will be over there dealing with you. I see some good things coming. I'm not gonna ever fuck you over, bro. That's just not me. You know what I'm saying? People that have known me 15, 20 years, whatever the case may be. I know you probably saying in your head, well, we'll see, and I don't blame you. But that's not my MO. That's never been my MO. I'll look you in your face and tell you that. And I have people come on camera, they're gonna tell you the same thing. I don't get down getting over on people. Even here on my donation process, if you donate, you donate. If you don't, I understand that too, or whatever. Sometimes I get a little frustrated because I really need the folks' help. I'm not rich. You understand what I'm saying? Contrary to belief, I'm not rich. I don't get money like that anymore. I'm not a drug dealer. I'm none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And for the past week or so, I didn't have to sit up here in this house because I'm like, yo, you know what? I can't spend none of my rent money. I need to go to the grocery store. Priorities, Jaguar, right? Priorities. You got to have some priorities. And right now, your priorities are fucked up. That's that Florida talk. Priorities. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Let me see what you guys are saying. Do you know Africans in Chinatown who got the plug for merch? No, that is a weird question. No, they don't be over there no more. The companies years ago started going over there. It was hauling niggas up, and I used to let me tell you a little story. Damn, y'all keep me with these stories. So one of the ways I used to get back and forth, that's ironic she said that. One of the ways I used to get back and forth to New York from the part of Connecticut. I lived in a further part of Connecticut. I lived here where I lived at beforehand, and then I moved out there to the shoreline because it was cheaper, it was cleaner, everything like that, or whatever. Now it's vice versa. Now out there is dirty, and here it's better. You know what I'm saying? So I came back to where I live at now in this part of Connecticut. But all those people that used to be on Canal Street, Delancey, all that or whatever, they started sending the companies down there, like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all the shit they was knocking off. Now they nowadays you can go down there and there's some of them dudes, but them niggas got blankets now. And just like back in the days, they will pull. I know a lot of y'all from New York, y'all know what I'm talking about. The African dudes down there, they would have blankets and still do to this day. A few of them, it ain't as many as it used to be, and they'll pull that shit up with that blanket and they'll take off with that shit. Next thing you know, this nigga got like 80 purses and everything like that in a blanket. Like they still do that. There'd be a few of them down there. But it don't be like it used to be, where you used to have the open shops and everybody be down there, or they take you downstairs through a labyrinth. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you got all the movies. But what I used to do is I used to go down there. I get the DVDs for like $1. I negotiated down to that because at first the niggas trying to charge me like $2 per joint. And then I would go down there, I'll get the purses. I had the Louis Vuitton joints, the Vera Wayne joints. The Vera Waynes, I used to sell those for like shit, $1.10 or something like that. I used to make some money off of it. But the problem is when you get that shit, it's hard to sell it nowadays because people know that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like some people will still buy it because they just want the look, but they ain't gonna pay top price like they used to do, like I'd say like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. You know what I mean? About right there. I used to go get that shit in the movies. I got the movies down. I got them to sell me down to about $1.50 each. He was doing on the wholesale. So I was like, I go down there, get like, I don't know, like 50 DVDs, 50 CDs, come back, move them shits. It started getting low tide and I sold most of it. All right, listen, man, take four for 20. Take three for 10. Like I was doing it like that at the point because I was like, all right. And then it started dwindling and dwindling and getting lower and lower and lower. So I stopped it. But that used to be my money to get back and forth to work, believe it or not. I used to leave New York with a huge ass fucking army duffel bag that I got from my uncle. My uncle had that. He was in all my uncles were in the service and shit. And so I had one of my uncles in the U.S. Army bags. It's huge. Like that shit fit across your back. Like it's a huge duffel bag. It's got this strap that fits across your back and it's meant to carry all your army gear. I could probably get with the cases on with the DVDs. I probably got like 100 in there, and then with the CDs because they were so thin, I could probably get like 200 of those in there. And that's how I used to stack up. I come back, I sell them bitches out. I go through the projects in Connecticut and in New York. I sell out them bitches probably like 3-4 days. I have like $1,200, $1,300 in my pocket. And niggas think I'm selling drugs. I'm like, nah, I'm pimping CDs, DVDs right now. This is my money to get back and forth. Good night, y'all. Good night, Roxy. I appreciate you coming through. And please feel free to come through again. RIP to Craig Mack, one of the mentors and definitely one of the first artists, literally a bad boy. I heard Craig Mack before I ever heard Biggie. You know what I'm saying? That's no disrespect to Big or nothing like that, but that's what it is. Hey, Slay, what's going on? We get ready to get up on off of here, whatever the case may be. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Guys, make sure y'all hit up the Cash App if you would. I appreciate that, or whatever the case may be. We'll get some more traveling going on and everything like that. But King Payne, don't you change who the fuck you are. I just wanted to say that one time. And all these new people that are in here, I appreciate all y'all. Um, feel free to know that I'm never gonna spaz on you or nothing like that or whatever, whatever. And I keep to my word when I say, and I'm one of the few guys that shows what he does with his donations. And with that said, let me say hi to everybody. Shorty Wiley, nice meeting you too, sweetie. And make sure you come back and subscribe if you guys haven't. Slay, thank you for showing up. Roxy's Ladies Lounge, salute, my salute. You already know BBE kind of feeling neat. Thank you very much for your donation. I appreciate that. Ashley77, thank you very much. She said, I got to go to work at 3 hours. I subscribe. Good night, brother. Good night, sis. Jumbo Paper Clips, appreciate you coming through. Neek, appreciate you again. Official Kingpin, you already know what it is. Stay you. You heard? Stay you. And tranquilo, siempre tú. Misty Ocean, thank you for coming through. Who else is in here? Ashley, Shantae again. We got a lot of people in here. Misty Ocean, I think I shouted you out. There was 2 or 3 other people I didn't shout out. I just want to make sure Judah J, there he goes. Judah J. I read everybody's comments tonight, so that's good or whatever, whatever. We just on that late night just chopping it up or whatever the case may be. Monopoly backup. Shout out to him. I'm sorry I screamed on you earlier, whatever. I just be, they say the wrong thing to me. That's just be me sometimes, you know. I think I said, yeah. Official King Payne again 3 times over there. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all y'all coming in here and supporting me. I know a lot of y'all probably got interrupted in the movie I was doing or whatever, whatever. I've been subscribed from the beginning, bro. Much love. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You remember my vlog I did? Let me ask you that, Slay. You remember my vlog I used to do live from the homeless shelter joint, right? That was heavy right there, man. I'm gonna share some of those and things so y'all can check those out, see for yourself. I tell no lies. I don't get over telling lies, man. I'm a tri-state dude. We don't do that. The real ones of us don't do that anyway. Let's put it that way. Guys, feel free to hit up the Cash App. Feel free to hit the like button. Feel free to share this post, subscribe, and Jaguar, stop hustling people. You heard them all? For real. You know what I'm saying? Already swag. $sign STRINGERBELLA0 is the Cash App. Again, that's $sign STRINGERBELLA80 is pinned right there in the comment. I'll give y'all a few minutes if y'all want to hit that up. If not, still, I appreciate y'all coming through. I appreciate y'all subscribing. Thank you, King Payne. You were real from the jump about your journey. You hear that? Thank you, Slay. You heard what she said, and that was unprovoked. She said you were real from the jump about your journey. And you remember I used to do that joint every day. I took everybody, I just want to tell y'all this real quick before I leave. In New London, Connecticut. That's actually, y'all remember the movie The Amistad? Okay, well, the Amistad actually landed in New London. And they had the trial in New Haven, Connecticut. That's where Yale University is and everything like that, which is about an hour difference. But the ship itself, we have a places on the wharf, and I'm gonna share a video with me in front of it, and I'm gonna share a couple pictures with the actual sign right there. It's called Amistad's Landing, and it's called that for a reason because the ship actually came into port. The people boarded into port from right there. It was a Spanish slave ship. Man, you came. Man, you were in the hotel. It was bad as fuck for real. For real. Okay, I got to give you 10 more minutes then. God damn, you remember. Do you remember what was going on, Slay? It was rats in there, all kinds of shit. This is what she's talking about. I was in this hotel, whatever. There was mice in there. I had to get mice traps on my own, everything. I've been through it, cuz. That's why I be trying to tell y'all, like I officially suffer from PTSD. So a lot of motherfuckers be like, yo, well, why don't you have a regular job? Well, first of all, I ain't never worked a regular job before. I worked for a salary. You know what I'm saying? Which is very different than working a typical 9 to 5. And I'm not knocking anybody. I respect everybody that's blue collar and busting their ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, trust me, because we did. There was nights we ain't go to sleep for 2 days. You know what I mean? That's the thing about getting a salary, you know? But back to what I was saying about Amistad, and then I'm gonna talk about what she was talking about real quick. Then I'm gonna get off of here. We have Amistad's Landing out there, and that's actually where the Amistad landed. There's also a customs house right in front of there. There used to be the courthouse, and that's where they partially had the trial, and then they moved it down to New Haven. So New London, Connecticut is actually where the Amistad landed at, and then they had the trial itself, which is depicted in the movie in New Haven, Connecticut. This is part of history here. We have a lot of history here. Gillette's Castle, just numerous places here in this state, as well as New York too. That's why I know all these historic places, and I go to them when I have the bunnies and I have the availability. Lately, I have not because I spent over $415 last month, and motherfuckers wouldn't even contribute $50 so I could get fucking back in order and pay my bills. So I was like, okay, I spent some of my savings now. I gotta stop, you know. So I set my ass down because rent is more important to me than any fucking thing. Jaguar, you know, it is what it is, but I ain't gonna be sleeping out no cars. I ain't gonna be sleeping in no basements and none of that shit. Fuck that. Man, it was horrible. You go to the storage and pull out your old bad boy gear. Much respect, King. Thank you so much. You already know what I'm talking about. You already know what the fuck I'm talking about. And what she's talking about is the homeless services people had us in one of the worst hotels you could ever imagine in your fucking life. And that's why I said I'm gonna go over there and film that shit and show it because it couldn't have got no better. And they had mice in there. The whole like even in my whole neighborhood, I like that, and that's why they put me here because I'm half Latino. Um, our whole neighborhood is Latino, and I have some great people over here, and I have some shitty people over here. But the majority of the people in my neighborhood are good people. Especially in my building, I like everybody in my building. There's not one person in this building that I do not like. There's not one person in this building I do not speak to. If your fucking apartment was on fire, I'm the first motherfucker that's gonna come over there and knock on the door, you know? But we have some shitty people too that are from New York and New Jersey, just shitty ass people. But it was the same when we were staying over in that place. The people they had put us over there. I had mice, roaches, you name it, all in that place. And at the time, I was planning on suing them, and I might still do it. You know what I mean? Because it was real traumatic. I cannot sleep like that. I cannot move like that. It's very this, you know what I mean? So yeah. But guys, yeah, we passed that. I'm dealing with my PTSD issues. I'm staying strong, and I'm gonna get better. But thank you so much, Slave, for remembering that. Man, it was horrible. You go to your storage and pull out your bad boy gear and get on camera. I sure did. I sure did. Guys, the Cash App is $ STRINGERBELL80. And there's someone right there letting y'all know again. I tell no lies. I don't get into that. Telling the truth is the way to move. Y'all have a good night. King Payne, hold your motherfucking hand. We'll see you in a minute, boy. You heard? I'll talk to y'all later.